and Carrie Annie.
Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your boy Chris Avalon, and welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. Hold on, let me turn up my light a little bit because we got a lot of tea to get into today. So Chris Avalon Unfiltered, we're a show where we basically talk about all things celebrity news, gossip, entertainment, anything that's going on in pop culture. I'm like, what is going on? Anything that's going on in pop culture, we talk about it on this here show. So do yourselves a solid and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button so that way you guys know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. And yes, you're probably wondering why I'm running like literally just jittery with like acting like I'm a chicken with his head cut off. Child, I have been putting together, editing, dealing with a lot of this stuff regarding this Diddy case since this morning. So I know I was supposed to come on at 3:20, East Coast time. But so many stuff was coming out. Shout out to all of y'all who have been helping me out. Like DJ. I know Robert sent me some stuff, a friend of mine, Omar sent me some stuff. Like there's been a lot of people who's been filling me in and sending me stuff. My group chats, my everything has been blowing up in regards to all this other stuff that's been coming up. So I've been busy like getting all these clips together and all this other stuff regarding this Diddy case. But I'm gonna let that, simmer a little bit because that's not what we're gonna get into right away. What we're gonna get into is a couple of these other topics, like the track release for Beyonce's new album finally came out. We're gonna talk about who are gonna be the guests on her new album. Plus, we have some more news on this whole quiet on set situation, especially Kenan Thompson came out and spoke out. He appeared on Tamron Hall. So we're gonna talk about that. Plus, we're gonna go behind the scenes and all the drama that's going on with Euphoria. Child, I just feel like they just need to cancel that fucking show already. At this point, Vin Diesel is fighting back over those SA allegations. Speaking of allegations, we're gonna do a deep dive into this whole Diddy case, including a couple of clips that I found regarding Torre telling the story. Tamika, what is her name? Tanika Ray, who used to be on Extra, and I had no idea she was a former backup dancer of Diddy's. She's speaking out. Plus, we have Willie Taylor, formula of Day 26, is out here spilling tea about Diddy. So I found that clip. We're going to get into that. Plus, there was a story that was floating around about J-Lo and Diddy's relationship because I was like, why has she been real silent in regards to this stuff? So people have been believing that maybe he had did some stuff to her back in the day when she was, using him for that musical come up. So we're gonna talk about that. Plus, the victim of the nightclub shooting, that that she was there the night of that whole situation happened, and he had Shine take that bid for 10 years. I believe he was in jail for allegedly shooting. The woman said that it wasn't even him, which we all kind of pretty much, for those of us who been following this story since back in that day, we knew, but it's good to hear the confirmation. So I'm gonna play that clip. Plus, Simon Gabadia is fighting with Portia. Apparently, he's filed a cease and desist where he doesn't even want her filming the new season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta at their mansion that he probably didn't pay for, among other things. Plus, we got the tea behind House of Villains, the new season. They revealed the cast. We're gonna go through it, and I'm gonna give my opinions, and y'all could jump in and on that too. Plus, Karamo's new show talk show's been picked up for another season. I didn't even know that shit was still on. And there's some drama going on with some former Drag Race girls. So apparently, of the artist formerly known as Tyra Sanchez. I woke up this morning and saw all of this. I just happened to open up my Twitter, and that was the first thing that popped up. So I was like, "Oh, I need to make this a part of the show." So King Tyra is running around throwing shade at Shangela, saying that, well, y'all been dragging her name through the mud all these damn years, but how come when Shangela's out here getting accused of sexual assault, like so many others that we've been talking about on the show, there's been a lot of crickets from the gay media and among other things. So we're gonna go through those tweets because I got them and a whole lot more. But before we get to our topic, let me hit my banner. And please do yourselves a solid and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button so that way you guys know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. Please and thank you. Hold on. I had to fix something. Okay, let me hit my banner again. All right. I had to add my Cash App up in there. So if y'all want to donate to the show, you can. All right, so please and thank you. All right, so without further ado, let's get into these topics, Chad. Oh wait, who's in the building? Who in here? Oh, hey Felix. He says, yeah, he said, did you go to Diddy or uh-huh. Yeah, I got the stuff. I got the screenshots. I did post it on my social medias, but I have gone to King Tyra's page since then, and I have all the stuff that we're gonna go through as a class. But oh, sorry. So anyway, like without further ado, let's get into this track list. Okay, so yesterday, Beyonce posted this Cowboy Carter situation in the background and all this stuff, which was cute. And then there's a picture of her eating spaghetti. It looked like on a private plane, which I'm thinking, okay, there's a song. I was like, why is she eating spaghetti? Why we gotta see her doing that? Come to find out she got a song on the album called Spaghetti. We're gonna get into that in a second. But let me pull up the track list in regards to this, the one that she released on her page yesterday, which I was like, okay, that's good. I actually like it's giving me very much like you go to the bargain store or whatever, and it's like coupons, like it's giving me coupon teas from like back in the day. So people knew about Jolene, all this stuff. That was a confirmation. But first of all, there was a rumor going around about her doing Jolene. And then so people only knew about Jolene because Dolly Parton mentioned it may appear on the album, and then they said Willie Nelson was going to be involved, but that was yesterday when we found that part out. So, who both Dolly and Willie are country icons. So Variety says, in recent Beyonce fashion, the singer took to Instagram to announce the track list. Notable inclusions are Jolene, which Dolly Parton previously mentioned may appear on the album, as well as the Linda Martell Show, a reference to one of the first Black commercially successful artists in country and the first to play the Opry. They said it's unclear if Dolly P and Smoke Our Willie Nelson indicate that the two country titans will appear on the record. Previous reports noted that Travis Scott may make a cameo on one of the songs, though fans will have to wait until tomorrow, which is today, for the final lineup. Well, I got the final lineup, Chad. And apparently who's on the album, because we know Raphael Sadiq produced it, Robert Randolph and Rhiannon Giddens. And she's been working on this for 5 years. But apparently, the people who do appear on the album is someone by the name of Willie Jones on a song called Yaya, Shabuzi on Spaghetti, which is hence the spaghetti reference that you see in on her on her Instagram. Tanner Adele on Blackbird, and Miley Cyrus on Two Most Wanted, as well as Post Malone on Levi's Jeans. And I was sitting there like, you know what? That's great because um I actually like the idea that, she has him on or them on the record. And I love the fact that she has Miley on there. I know people was upset that they didn't, why she didn't pick Taylor Swift? Why she didn't put her? I said, first of all, Taylor's too damn big. Taylor would be such the obvious choice. And I love the fact that Beyonce will have y'all thinking that she's gonna go one way and decides to go another. And she picked someone, yeah, Miley Cyrus is famous and big on her own right, but she's not like Taylor Swift is. But Miley Cyrus, I think, is like the perfect choice to have her on a record, especially with those husky vocals and hearing like what they're gonna be working on as far as a collaboration and song. Like I definitely like, and first of all, I like Miley, and I hope. But here's another thing that I don't get. On one hand, I do love the fact that we have people within because I've always said this, that one of the things when I was growing up and we didn't have access to the internet and all other stuff, whenever Madonna would come out with something and she would work with like these lesser known producers and artists and DJs and things, that it put me onto those artists' music and it made me want to get more into what it was that those artists that she was collaborating with, what their music sounded like. And I ended up for the most part liking a lot of the people that she uses influences for her record. The same as I see with Beyonce. And I see people getting upset because they're like, well, how come it takes someone as big as Beyonce for y'all to all of a sudden want to get into country music and understand Black contribution to country or support Black country artists? I'm like, does it really matter? Like at the end of the day, it's like I totally get that and I totally understand that. And a lot of times people only want to, there are people who are not everybody's a leader. Not everybody goes and seeks out things. Some people just follow trends or just want to come across as cool or do whatever. And if you want to do that, that's on you. But for the most part, I feel like if Beyonce is going to open your eyes up to supporting lesser known artists, or people who you don't pay attention to, like a Willie Jones or a Shabuzi or a Tanner Adele or any of those type of artists, then why not seek those out and support them and other artists? Like I've been having conversations where I said like there are friends of mine who are DJs and musicians or whatever, or just regular people who said that, because of this Beyonce era with her and the country stuff, that they started seeking out and paying attention and listening to Black country music artists. So I feel like maybe we should, like, as a whole, people should do that. Just go out and listen and support and seek, like, go Google schmoogle, because you'll Google every damn thing else except for when you really need to use the Google. And go and say, like, you know what? Let me look into who, like, Google who black country artists or whatever that's, popping or whatever the case is. Look it up and then go. Or if you go on app, well, I use Apple Music. I don't use Spotify except for when I listen to podcasts, and just see, like, if that's something that you're relatively interested in, and just download their music and listen to it. Because that's what I'll be doing. But yeah, so we a couple of hours away at midnight. Beyonce will be dropping this new album, and then this will be the talk of the town the whole weekend. I will listen to it when I hopefully I can get around to it tomorrow, but I'm going to be busy. But I'll listen to the record and then I'll give my opinion on it when I have time to do another show, which hopefully will be this weekend. So good luck to you, Beyonce. I'm curious to hear, like I said before, I didn't really care. Like, country music is not my judge, but I am curious to hear what her take on this genre will be and what she's going to do. Because at this point, Beyonce has solidified herself as an edutainer, where she's going to educate and entertain you all on, getting into what we need to get into. All right, so let's move on and let's talk about Quiet on Set, which, after the success of the first four parts, we're actually getting an episode 5 that is set to air on April 7th on Investigation Discovery and then stream on Max. So I'm actually looking forward to this. So, according to the Hollywood Reporter, the ID channel is set to debut a 5th episode of Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV, featuring interviews with Drake Bell and other former child TV actors. Quiet on Set, Breaking the Silence will premiere, April 7th, will be moderated by Soledad O'Brien and follows the 4-part Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV, premiering on ID and Max. The 5th episode of the docuseries promises to go deeper into the toxic and dangerous culture behind the late 90s and early 2000s kids TV series, including allegations of abuse, sexism, and racism. So, I'm actually looking forward to this because I feel like, yeah, let's bring out all that stuff regarding Dan Schneider and all the other stuff that was going on behind the scenes. And, a lot of people have been out here complaining, well, should more people come out and speak and stuff? And you know what? Now it seems like because of this 4-part series, everybody kind of, some people who weren't a part of it before was probably initially approached, that were afraid to speak out. Now that they've seen the finished product, and now they've seen, like, all, because sometimes all it takes is a little media attention, seeing how people respond, because people still be out here running scared in Hollywood, even when you have the safety net of, like, okay, so we're going to do the documentary, we're going to do a docu-series, you don't have anything scary to worry about. It's the same thing that I'm going to say about the whole Diddy case or whatever. It's the fact that people's like, what's taking y'all so long, why, all that stuff. And it's like, because there's always safety in numbers. Now that you had Cassie come out and speak out, and so many others of little by little have spoken out, now you see these big floodgates is opening, and everybody feels comfortable enough to come out and say what needs to be said about whatever their experiences was on whatever job or whatever the case they had. Diddy with the music, and Nickelodeon with these kids, and the whole situation with Dan Schneider and him having 3 damn sex offenders working at that damn network doing things to them kids, and how, you know, one of them had what was that? What, oh my god, I forgot his name. The one that assaulted the one, oh my gosh. Yeah, it just slipped my mind just now. It's like the one that assaulted Drake Bell. He was like that whole divide and conquer situation that he did, where it was like the father had the gut instinct, and then he goes and says, "Oh," or the people. And it wasn't even him; it was people behind us. Oh, you just homophobic. Fuck does homophobia or fear of gay people, whatever the case is, happen? And this is what irritates me about people in the community, is because, well, not even the community; it's just people in this industry. How all y'all care about is the bottom line and some money, where it's like y'all want to use the gay community to kind of be like, oh well, you just homophobic. That's why you won't want that boy around. It's like, no, that's not it. It's just I got a creepy vibe about on this man. Your sexuality has nothing to do with you being a predator and you trying to take advantage of someone's child because you got no nasty, dirty thoughts about someone's child, and you put yourself in a position of power to be able to act out your nastiest fetishes, fantasies, whatever the hell you want to call it. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what it is exactly they're going to be bringing to this 5th episode. but because we've heard from Belle already, and we've heard from all that cast members: Shane Lyons, Giovanni Samuels, Brian Hearn, and his mother, who was saying that she spoke out against things. Brian Peck, I don't know why I can remember that, but but it came to me. Um, but and it's funny, she was like, I spoke out and I said, and then the agent goes and says, well, just just put your head down and don't say nothing, because if you say something you're going to lose your job. And it's like, what kind of people are y'all? Like, all y'all care about is making sure that you get that percentage, because you got your client working, and not thinking about that there should be things in place to protect your client, who all they want to do is get up in there and perform. And you got these grown ass nasty ass people, when you got Ariana Grande trying to squeeze liquid out of potato, basically like she was giving the damn thing a hand job, and then putting her laying down over her head back over the bed, pouring water on herself, which basically was implying, when as an adult you see it, that, oh, you're doing like somebody doing like, I guess, water sports, cum shot, whatever it is, all over your face. So you got her doing that. And then to me, it just looked like Dan Schneider was just like, let's see how far I can get away with certain things, or making these kids do the ooh, that's funny. Like, he's giving that. And it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Shout out to Patti LaBelle though, because I was seeing this. I saw this recent story that came out with Patti LaBelle, where she's like, "I wanted to slap that heifer." Talking about Dan Schneider's wife, because she got a little slick with her mouth when it came to her. She's like, "I want to slap that heifer." As Patti LaBelle, when she calls somebody a heifer, that's an actual fact there. And so I was cackling when I saw that article. She should have slapped the light out of her ass. Quiet as his kept. I'm surprised, looking at Dan Schneider, he can actually get some pussy. But then again, I totally understand it. When you're in a place where you're in a position of power and you gonna be taken care of, sometimes you bras don't care who the fuck y'all hook up with, as long as y'all get to live the life of luxury. And clearly that's what that was when she was in a relationship with that man. So I'm looking forward to seeing this situation happen, and I mean this episode, and more tea coming out about Nickelodeon, and seeing who else is going to come and speak out in regards of what had happened, including, and I'll get to the topics in a second. Like, one of the people I'm looking forward to, well, one person that came out and spoke out was Kenan Thompson. He appeared on the Tamron Hall show. I think it was yesterday, and he started reflecting on the bombshell docuseries. Now, the actor and comedian who previously rose to fame, as you know, he started on like Kenan and Kel and all that in the 90s and the 2000s, opened up about his experience on set as well, and gave his support for those who shared their personal stories on the doc, saying, "It's a tough subject because it's tough for me because I can't really speak on things that I've never witnessed." And this is what he said when he appeared on Tamron Hall show yesterday. So, you know what I'm saying? Because all these things happened after I left, basically, and Dan Schneider wasn't really on Kenan and Kel like that. I mean, he got a created by credit, but it was a different showrunner. So our worlds weren't really overlapping outside of all that necessarily. And then all the negativity kind of started happening outside of our tenure there. He also continued by saying, "I wasn't really aware of a lot of it, but my heart goes out to anybody that's been victimized or their families." You know what I mean? I think, I think it's a good thing that the doc is out and it's putting things on display that need to be, stories that need to be told for this accountability's sake. But it's definitely tough to watch, because I have fond memories of that place, and I have fond memories of my co-stars and stuff like that. So to hear that they have gone through terrible things like that is just really tough. And so, and he also said that, you know what, they need to go and investigate more on what's going on. And look, investigate more they are, because they are going out and investigating this whole situation, especially when we have the next episode that's gonna be coming out next month. So shout out to Kenan Thompson, and I'm glad that he spoke out. And you know what? To me, I felt like what he said was perfect. It's like, you know what? I didn't experience what these other people experienced, because he was off making them other shows. He wasn't involved with Kenan and Kel. Yeah, he got a creative by special credit, probably because he ran Nickelodeon, and he probably just gonna get a creative by thing because of his attachment to all that, and all that stuff. So he probably just going to get, because there's some people out here, I think a lot of people don't know, they do get creative by credits. They do get producer credits in name only, but don't really have nothing to do with the show. But because they're attached to the network, they're just giving that shit, and it's only basically a title, even though they barely there or there at all. So I can totally get that. So it's just like, he was busy running off on these other shows. And I'm just glad that he was like, you know what? Even though I didn't experience what goes on in them, I'm glad that they're opening up and they're speaking out about this stuff and that, people are going to be held, their feet going to be held to the fire and held accountable. Now, my thing is this, it's like, I hope that things are being put in place since then, in regards of what's going on over at Nickelodeon, that these kids still aren't dealing with it, even though Dan is not there anymore. I'm really hoping that, things will get better and things have gotten better, especially with the future of Nickelodeon and all that other stuff. Because, I've been aged out of Nickelodeon, so I don't know what the hell's going on over there. I can only speak on, watching those shows and the shows that I love and my childhood kind of being ruined over the drama, but it is what it is. So shout out to you, Kenan. And like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing, this show or the episode when it airs. Okay, so let's read some of these comments and then we'll get back to the show. Um Sailor Mermaid, who's in the building, says when people say these things of them not coming out, aren't thinking about the power dynamics is at play, and we see when those who speak out are either blackballed exactly or unalived, that part. And to me it irritates my soul how there's a lot of ninjas, because you know what word I want to say, but I ain't saying they don't care. um there's certain folk out here, especially if you go on those black blogs, like the neighborhood talking on them, and I will be referencing a lot of the clips that I found on this show. When I was reading the comments, like I was just shaking my damn head, and I was going back and forth in my group chat with DJ and EJ. Shout out to y'all if y'all watching. Um, and we were sitting there saying, like, oh, what is wrong with y'all? Like, y'all literally out here defending a man who was notorious. And this is not stuff that just started yesterday. We've been, those of us who've really been following this story, been speaking about Diddy and his shenanigans for decades. Wendy Williams was kicked out of New York for spilling tea about him. He couldn't do nothing to her because, first of all, she had Kevin on her side at the time. He wasn't that damn dumb because Kevin from Brownsville, oh, we don't do that in Brooklyn, sir. You know, Miss Jigglypuff, she from Harlem. We work a little different out in Brownsville is gangsta, trust and believe, because I was born and raised there in the 80s. So if you knew how Brownsville was in Brooklyn back in those days, in the 80s and 90s, they wasn't playing out in them streets. You really had to develop a thick skin living out there. So yeah, so she had Kevin on her side, and he was, he had her back in a lot of situations. So, but he had her ran out of New York. But I think back when she was on Hot 97, and I'm glad that a lot of people are saying they so glad that she's getting her vindication and all this other stuff. We'll talk about that. During the segment, but let's just focus on. But I do agree. It's like people not really getting the fact that people, now that it's out there, people feel brave enough to speak because now they don't have to worry about either losing their livelihood or something crazy happening to them. Because it's a lot of that go like mobsters, gangsters, or wannabe gangsters, criminals, all kinds of crazy people that be up in here running Hollywood and or jumping in the industry and stuff. So these are the things people need to be looking at instead of this. Why y'all took so long to speak? Why y'all speaking now? Or y'all trying to take somebody down? I'm like, what? What are y'all talking about? Like, could you be any more dumb? That's like with Tyrese and them big ass teeth ahead saying that stupid shit too. I'm gonna read him later on in the show. But uh, that part. And then that's why I was like the other day when we talked about it, that I forgot the original logo for Nickelodeon was feet. I forgot about that. And then they was trying to sit there and say that the logo looked like Epstein Island. Y'all need to stop with these goddamn conspiracy theories. Patty Clip was from the Tyra Banks talk show. Oh yeah, I forgot that was his wife that was on there on that clip. Is that while I'm happy more victims are coming out, we need to have empathy for them. Many have been, and that's what people need to realize as well, is that whatever happened to having empathy for people instead of just, oh well, like victim blaming or slut shaming, or you don't know what people are going. And this goes to show that some of y'all, I guess, never really been out in the real world, don't know how the world works. Like, can y'all please, some of y'all go out and touch grass? Like, I don't understand it. Oh, okay. And it was like Kenan said he had no idea what happened, but he said some nice things about Amanda Bynes. And people dragging Amanda for not speaking out. I was like, look, when Amanda's ready to speak out and do other stuff, and look, people also need to realize she'll do it. But I feel like also people need to realize, like, when you come out and you speak your story, you're re-traumatizing yourself. So that takes a lot for someone to actually get on camera, wherever, if it's Instagram or go on, or TikTok or go on Tamron Hall. You're re-traumatizing yourself by reliving that story over and over and over again and trying to tell y'all the story. And even when they do come out and risk their own trauma, re-traumatizing themselves to speak out, there still be some of y'all idiots that be on social media. Oh, I don't believe it. Oh, why are you speaking out now? You making that up. Were you there? If somebody says something that happened to them, why can't we take their fucking word for it? I just don't get it. It damn sure is. But you want to know something? I will say this: not everybody in the industry is corrupt and it was successful, because there's been many a times I've encountered people in the industry and they've been the nicest. They've definitely helped me out in a lot of situations and stuff. When I was at VH1, I can't sit and say that I came across anybody negative or any of that other stuff. Like, I worked with a lot of amazing producers and encountered a lot of really good slugs. Some not all, but I will say, like, I've come across a lot of people who weren't like that or whatever. I never came across Diddy, thank the Lord. But I mean, I have met 50 Cent, who we gonna talk about later on in the show. I've met a lot of celebrities. So I will say, like, I don't want to say that I know that's not what you're saying, but I will say that it's not all like a cesspool of corrupt people. It just seems like the scale is tipped more that way because so much of it is coming out. What you trying to get into? I do remixes. It's hard to break through with so many people doing what I do. Oh, y'all having your own little private conversation in my live? But anyway, it's like when things get exposed, it's easier for people to speak out, and the more people who speak out, it makes it. Well, I hope so, because I'm sick and tired of seeing people where it's like the more that speak out, you see the same bullshit in the comments where they troll and talk about, oh, I don't believe it. Oh, why y'all make us? Oh, y'all just trying to clout chase or jump on a bear. Who really wants to put that kind of energy on themselves? Was, oh yeah, I'm looking for clout. Except that idiot that was in Diddy neighborhood talking about all of a sudden, like, because I saw a video about this earlier. There was some moron, some kid in a car talking about, speaking to the media and said, "Oh, Diddy be bringing underage kids by the busload at 3 in the morning for his notorious parties." First of all, how would you know this? Because did you check all their ID? And number two, if this stuff was going on, he don't know everybody in the neighborhood who be calling anonymously to report any kind of stuff. Why didn't you make the phone calls and report it? Come to find out, the mother said he full of shit and he lying. So those are the things you got to worry about. Is that there is some people out here who cloud chasing, but if a victim is coming out saying some stuff, why can't we just take a moment and actually believe what the fuck they saying instead of y'all running out here trying to discredit them? It's not up to you to do that. First of all, you're not an attorney. You're not giving a lie detector. You don't work for the Maury Povich show, which is not on anymore. So you can't sit up in here and tell somebody lying or not. But believe what you want to believe. We all have the right to, correct? And so multiple math need to be precise. Oh, and then it's like that happens in normal life. So, all right, so let's move on and get into this whole Euphoria thing. So Euphoria, we found out this week was supposed to be coming back, but then they went and said it's been indefinitely suspended or whatever the case is, or they're delaying it, but they're still making it. At this point, can y'all just fucking cancel the show already? Like, first of all, Sydney Sweeney Zendaya and Jacob Elordi's career has ballooned, and they're extremely busy since the show. So you tell them to go seek other opportunities on the stuff, but y'all still gonna hold on to these damn kids. And then there's some people who work on the show that aren't as big. That's like, you know what? I'm still waiting to come shoot this show because I need money. Well, ma'am, sir, whoever, y'all just need to go out and look for another damn job. Because at this point, why are y'all waiting for Euphoria to get to shooting? Because y'all need a check. Go out and audition and do something else. Fuck that damn show. So Euphoria may never return for a third season, as creator Sam Levinson and HBO executives have clashed over how to move forward. This is according to the Daily Mail. They said that according to insiders who claim rising fame, tragic deaths, and last year's strikes have also contributed to stunting progress. HBO this week confirmed the delay in season 3, blaming the busy schedules of the cast, which includes Sydney Sweeney, Zendaya, and Jacob Elordi for the holdup. However, insiders have now claimed the real reason for the delay is Sam's frustration at HBO's request that he complete the scripts in full before they decide whether or not to greenlight production. Oh, that's annoying because we've been hearing a lot of that lately with a lot of shows that it's like, oh, we got a second season ready to, oh, we got a third or fourth season ready to go. That's the same thing that happened with Bo DeMayo. He already had, season 2 was already in a lock. Season 3 he already had ideas for it. Then they fired him before the damn first season come out. We still don't know why, but we still gonna sit. I'm gonna still have my ear to the street as to what may have contributed to his firation. But that shit's annoying. It's like, no, why am I wasting all my time to write full scripts of a show for you to decide, oh, we don't like where you going with this, so we just going to cancel it. Like, HBO, y'all be doing too damn much. What y'all need to be doing is trying to figure out how to make and just like that watchable. That's what y'all should be focusing on. But anyway, so it said a handful of things have stunted the third season and is looking more and more like it will never happen. This is what a insider revealed to Daily Mail. Even though HBO was announced a delay as opposed to the cancellation, so many things would have to fall in place and may never for the show to return. But what is to blame? A handful of things, they said. The cast and crew have been waiting through strikes, new scripts, the tragic death of Angus Cloud, and now that will change the story. And how that will change the story. They continued saying HBO executives are also dragging their feet. Instead of greenlighting the third season once the strikes are over, they demanded all the scripts be completed in order for them to read through and decide whether or not to move forward, which frustrated Sam immensely because they don't realize how much work goes into writing a script and coming up with things and developing characters and arcs and all that stuff. Like you just thinking like we just, writers, because I'm a writer, wake up in the morning and just like, oh yeah, well, we got all this idea. So like, no, there's a lot that goes into writing a script and being creative and making all that stuff. Like let's go to show that y'all just execs and don't know what the fuck y'all doing. I hope it's not like that guy that was trying to go down on Disney because he's like, oh, Kevin Feige don't know what the hell he doing because he got to make movies about, an all black superhero movie or all female superhero movie, which we already talked about. It was like, first of all, Black Panther was not an all black cast. There was some white people up in it. And then, the show, The Marvels was not all women. There was men in that movie too. So I don't know what the fuck his old ass was watching. So I hope it's not a situation we got people at HBO. And don't get me wrong, HBO is on point with a lot of their programming. Look, The Last of Us, I'm excited for the new season that's going to be coming. They're currently filming, and I think they're filming it for a good 6 months. They tried to say that I'm not going to do a spoiler. If you know the video game, you already know what happens to Joel's character. But they said Pedro Pascal was finished shooting already, and they just started last month. And they said no, he's actually got more to film. So Pedro is still there filming. I did see a video of him buying the entire cast, Five Guys. I'm like, you know how much Five Guys costs just for one person? Like for me to get a double patty with bacon, with bacon, well, L top, which is lettuce, tomatoes, onions, pickles, bacon, and ketchup, mayo, all that stuff, and the Cajun fries, a small, that cost me like 20 some dollars without the drink. I was like, I'm staying away from soda. So I had me a Gatorade. I went to the store, got me a Gatorade before, because when I was just coming from the gym, I was like, I need to eat something. So that was the only thing I ate that day was Five Guys. And then I had me a Gatorade. And that was my breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the day. Because I was like, I know this shit'll sit in my stomach. And the one thing I love about Five Guys, you can order a small and they still give you mad fries. So that's what I always love about Five Guys. It was like, you don't need to get a large because the small basically moves like a large. They give you so many fries. So I love that about them. So I'll never complain, even though they are having people complain about them prices of Five Guys. I will never complain about because they do, you definitely get like good quality food. You get enough, in my opinion, versus like if I go to a Wendy's or a Burger King or whatever, and they give you like these burgers, these mad little, and the fry. I'm like, ill. I'd rather go spend more than five. At least I get my money's worth. But anyway, they said that Sam's frustrations that made him move on to other projects and not being able to finish the show on his terms has been upsetting. HBO alleged decision to demand scripts are written in full before execs greenlight another season is believed to be a reaction to Sam's widely panned The Idol. Oh yeah, that show was terrible. The crazy turn of The Idol and the disaster that it turned out to be it started Sam's downturn. Then you add Angus dying and producer Kevin Turin dying, one of his biggest and best friends. Euphoria was rocked by the death of 25-year-old Angus, who played Fezco. He was actually one of my favorite characters. Like, I love me some Fez on it. Fez and Ashtray, those are my favorites on that damn show. But I think in parts in the season finale of the second season, I think Ashtray passed. I think they killed off Ashtray. And then, he died from an accidental OD of fentanyl, coke, and other drugs. The heartbreak continued when producer Kevin died at age 44, just 5 months later in December from multiple heart issues. The source explained that the delay was not great news for the lesser names associated with the project, which is what I was talking about earlier. Said many people want to work and have refused work with the thought of Euphoria was coming back much sooner. What is crazy is that the last episode filmed was December of 2021, which is crazy. People have been waiting. First of all, if the last time we filmed a season of a show was December of 2021 and we're in 2024, I'd have been like, fuck you. You get knees, both of them at the same damn time. And I'm calling my agent and I'm like, you know what? Okay, what we doing? Like, I need to start working. I'm not gonna sit here because who even knows how much compared to Jacob Elordi, Sydney Sweeney, and Zendaya. And Zendaya's an actor and a producer on Euphoria. Who knows how much they were making with them first two seasons? And now with season three, right, coming, um, they're gonna ask for more money. And especially Jacob and Sydney. Zendaya's different because Zendaya's like I said, an actor and producer on the show. So she's probably gonna get a huge payout. But as far as like the other bigger stars, and then one of the other actors, I think her name was Barbie, the big girl. She was like, she quit because she didn't like playing like she didn't want to play the character they had her playing, like the best friend role or whatever the case was. And so I really feel like they all need to move on, in my opinion. Oh yeah, it was the girl that she played Kat Hernandez on the show, but yeah, her real life name is Barbie, and she was just like, she just didn't see a place for her to go in regards to the character. And to me, it's just like, you know what? I just feel like to wrap this up because it was a long ass article. If you want to read it, it's definitely on my website. But the only thing I got to say on this is like, yeah, wrap up the show. I think all the actors need to move on. And it's like when y'all figure out what the tea is and what y'all doing with the future of this show, Euphoria, let me know. And to me at this point, you know what? Euphoria was good back it was popping back then. And I feel like it was a zeitgeist moment type situation. But me personally, I'm gonna admit, if if Euphoria was announced to start shooting tomorrow, I don't think I'd care because I feel like y'all took too damn long to get the show up and running. The show was hot when it was at the time, but you know what? As somebody who's seen far more controversial shit over the years, like I don't know if y'all seen the movie Kids. um, Shout out to Rosario Dawson because she was in that movie. I think that was her first movie. Shout out to if y'all seen Ken Park. Ken Park, first of all, is banned. Like you can't even find that damn movie no way. If you can, good luck. Me seeing stuff like that where it's young people in situation 13 when I grew growing up seeing those type of movies, which way more controversial than Euphoria, then I'm like, you've seen it all. Like to me, Euphoria, and first of all, looking at them as like, okay, first of all, how y'all all put like in damn near 30 playing high schoolers? This is not Dawson's Creek. This is not 90210 Beverly Hills or the remake where they used to hire 30-year-olds and stuff. Remember Gabrielle Carteris was pushing 40 and still in playing a high schooler? I remember that. Now I think she in her 60s. But she was older than Methuselah playing a damn high school kid. And because she was petite, people bought it. So at this point, like I said, I could care less if Euphoria comes back. If it comes back, great. I'll give it a gander. But for the most part, I just don't care. Just like I didn't care for the idols. I took one look at that first episode. I was like, next. If y'all not gonna give me no drama like Diddy type stuff and put it in the show, I don't want it. Cause that's really where y'all should have went with the show. Kind of bringing all that type of stuff up in there. Okay, so comments, I always try to keep an open mind and be impartial when folks tell me things how a person I'm cool with will be nasty to them. And it's like you gotta have your own experience at the end of the day, but I'll definitely keep an eye out. Like I'll give a side. I was like, okay, that wasn't my experience with that person. But now I'm gonna definitely keep an eye on their ass. I was like, let me see how this bitch move. Cause you might act funny when you with me, but when I'm with that other person, it's like, okay, I'm gonna watch your ass. Well, things and look. I'm at a point too, like I could get like Stranger Things is taking too damn long. Funnily enough, so much of the cast has come because I've told you I work in Madison Square Garden. A lot of the cast has shown up at my job. I've seen Gaten Matarazzo, he's shown up. Um 11, what's her name? The actress that plays 11, Millie Bobby Brown, she showed up with her fiance, John Bon Jovi's son. I think his name is Jake. I've seen him. I've seen the guy that plays that's the one that played 11's adopted father, the cop. He's shown up to my show. David Harbour. Like majority of the cast has come to Madison Square Garden for games. They'll either be there for a Knicks game or they've been there for a Rangers game or whatever. So I've seen them. I've seen a lot of the cast there, and they've all pretty much doing all different things. So I believe that at this point, yeah, I think Stranger Things is done. They're in post production because David Harbour is currently shooting Thunderbolts. I just saw the video footage earlier today of Florence Pugh on set giving people kind of a tour. She didn't really show much, but she showed you her new costume and she got the short blonde hair. She's cute. She looked good in the outfit. And she's giving everybody a little behind the scenes look at what's going on. So they're currently filming Thunderbolts. She was letting everybody know. So David Harbour is on set. And when he was at the game, I did see he had the long beard. So, you know, the long beard. So I knew that that's what he was getting ready to do. And he was in shape. Um, so yeah, they're all out here doing stuff. As they should be, and not waiting on. But yes, with Stranger Things, I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it. I'll try to overlook Noah Schnapp, you know, his Zionist ass, but I'll be watching because I need to see how the show ends. You know, I've been watching Stranger Things from the beginning. But anyway, let's get into the next topic and let's talk about because before we get to this Diddy stuff, let's talk about Vin Diesel, Chad. So you know, we talked about the fact that one of his former assistants who worked on Fast and the Furious 5, Asta Jonason, accused him of assaulting her while she was working there. I think she worked there for about a week. Well, now Vin Diesel is clapping back and he says that he wants the courts to throw out her lawsuit. Now, according to court documents obtained by Radar Online, the Fast and Furious star denied all allegations of wrongdoing in the case brought by Asta Jonason. Now, in December, the alleged victim sued Diesel, his production company One Race Films, and the actor's sister Samantha Vincent, who works as president of One Race. In her lawsuit, Jonason said that she was hired by One Race in 2010 to work as Diesel's assistant on Fast Five. She said the production took place in Georgia. Jonason said that she was with Diesel at his hotel suite in the St. Regis one night when he had multiple female guests. And this is around the time when he was when he's he had that model girlfriend. I believe she's Mexican or something or another. She's Latina. We'll just say that because he ain't good with nobody black. Um and they said around the time, and then I remember telling the story that the girlfriend, who I believe is still the girlfriend, said that she was pissed at him because this allegations came out during the same timeline when she was pregnant with their son Vincent. But anyway, so to get into the story, it says that said her task was to get Diesel out of the room without the paparazzi catching him. So he was up in there cheating while he was in his whole relationship, and the mother of his kids at the time having busy at home and she pregnant. But why should anybody be surprised that there are people in Hollywood doing this? But anyway, per the lawsuit, Jonason and Diesel found himself on her after the other women left. She claimed he groped her boobs and kissed her without consent. Diesel allegedly pulled up her dress and attempted to take off her underwear. Jonason said the actor placed her against a wall and grabbed her head. The assistant claimed Diesel put her hand on his genitalia and took off everything but his underwear. In her lawsuit, Jonason described Diesel pleasuring himself while she stood there. The assistant claimed he told her no one can say ish about Asta, after he finished. He reportedly left the room and she stayed behind. Now, after the incident, Jonason said Diesel's sister fired her. She believed it was due to her not complying with the actor's demands. For years, Ms. Jonason remained silent, afraid to speak out against one of the world's highest grossing actors, afraid she would be ostracized from the industry, which has a pattern for protecting powerful men and silencing survivors of harassment, and assault, and concerned that as a green card holder, that speaking out could jeopardize her potential future citizenship. And see, people need to understand, and let me read, I'm going to read that again because people really need to understand the reasons why a lot of people don't speak out. They have a lot of their reasons. The fact of the matter was, she is not an American. She's an immigrant. She actually was, had a card so that way she could work on this movie. And speaking out, when you have someone in a place of power, Diddy, Vin Diesel, and all these other people that have come out and said things, Russell Simmons, so many others. This is why they don't speak out because they're afraid of the situation going to happen. So let me read it again. So it says, for years, Miss Jonathan remained silent, afraid to speak out against one of the world's highest grossing actors, afraid she would be ostracized from the industry, which had a pattern for protecting powerful men and silencing survivors of harassment and assault, and concerned that as a green card holder, that speaking out could jeopardize her potential future citizenship. They also said, empowered by the hashtag Me Too and Time's Up movements, and with the protection of the Speak Out Act and recent revival of her claims by AB 2777. I was going to say B613. Shout out to Olivia Pope and the people over there at Scandal. Ms. Jonathan is unwilling to remain silent any longer and seeks to reclaim her agency and justice for the suffering she endured at the hands of Vin and One Race. And Vin Diesel, I should point out, because I got to put on my Sonny Hostin legal hat. I'm a channel her in his piece. Look, he said, his attorney, Brian Freeman, said, let me be very clear. Vin Diesel categorically denies this claim in its entirety. This is the first he has ever heard of this more than 13-year-old claim made by a purportedly 9-day employee. There is clear evidence which completely refutes these outlandish allegations. Well, look, if you got the evidence, bring them out is what I say. I want to know the tea. Like, if you have the stuff, if you have the evidence to refute what she's saying, then we want to, when the day comes when y'all have to go in court and she takes him down and takes him to task for the allegations that she says he did to her, then you present them the case and we'll see where it goes from there. But until then, because she is a victim of whatever and she's filing this lawsuit and she's got the protection of all those people behind her that we mentioned, which was what, the Speak Now Act and AB 2777 and the Me Too and the Me Too and the Time's Up movements, which I believe has played a huge role in a lot of people not being afraid to come forward. Then we'll deal with that bridge when we cross it. But until then, get your shit together. And so, look, I'm in a way, I don't know if he did it. I wasn't there, but because there have been situations where we've seen that Vin is notorious for not being the nicest person in Hollywood. He's very vindictive. He could be very calculating. He could be very manipulative. Like Dwayne Johnson put his shit on blast when he tried to pull something. We're trying to get him to come back to the franchise by, oh well, my child was, his wanted to get Uncle Dwayne to come be a part of the movie. The last one that we all fucking hated. Well, I did. Part 10. And then was like, Pablo, if he was alive, as in Paul Walker, if he were alive, he would walk. I was like, okay, sir. First of all, you are not a psychic. You don't speak for the dead, or you're not a medium. You're not Teresa Caputo. You're not speaking to the dead, or Tyler Henry. You can't, speak to these people and they speaking through you. Like, we're not doing that. So, the gaslighting is like, I see the gaslighting and manipulation, which he's been called out on. And Dwayne wasn't having it. And Dwayne could do that because Dwayne is also one of the most powerful movie stars in Hollywood. So Vin, you're only as powerful, in your own right, but Dwayne is, I think, the bigger movie star and stuff. So I feel like he's got way more clout and cadence. First of all, compared to Vin Diesel, Dwayne Johnson has way more franchises and movies under his belt that have grossed more than Vin has in a while. Vin basically just has the Fast and the Furious franchise that he always has to bank on. But as of late, not really, because those numbers have been declining on the franchise because people are looking at it as like, these films are a piece of shit. Like, you still making another one, but they're still not good because the script is bad, the acting is bad, the writing is, well, I did say the script writing, same shit. And the acting is ridiculous. So I'll definitely be keeping my eye on this story as it develops. But I'm sure it's not going anywhere. Hmm Yep, and I've been talking about this since December. So, these stories have been coming out, and then I know he's upset over the whole idea behind his him not getting the big budget that he wants to film this final movie. But look, they've been giving you these huge budgets and you haven't been turning a profit. They've been getting, like, the last movie cost almost $400 million, and worldwide Fast 10 grossed set almost 800 million. That's not breaking even. That's not even, that's covering some of the cost, but not all of it. You need to hit a billion, and you didn't. And the last two movies didn't. And a lot of people hated the last two movies, me particularly. So I'm curious to see the way, how this last movie wraps up finally. And I think Hollywood is pretty much saying, yeah, we're done with you, because with all these allegations and stuff coming out, like, yeah, we're going to give you one more movie. Because remember, at one point when Part 10 came out, he was like, oh, we're going to do a trilogy. And it's like, who said that? In my Portia Williams voice, who said that? Who said you getting two more movies? We said one, but then you went on the screen, at the red carpet premiere, talking about you getting two more. I was like, y'all need to wrap this shit up, because that last one and the one before that, it was a chop. And I went to the movies to see them. Okay, so let's get into this Diddy stuff. Child, can I just tell y'all, I'm exhausted. I'm literally exhausted with all of this Diddy stuff that has been coming out. Because this is the stuff that's been coming out yesterday. So I'm gonna keep y'all, because there's been a lot that's been coming out since we first started talking. Like when the house was raided, and people have been talking about and how when they did the raids and all that other stuff, that yeah, when it was greenlit, the Homeland Security go in and do the house damage. Because I've been seeing the videos and stuff online with the damaged home and all that other stuff. um they said that they didn't just go up in there all of a sudden one day and decide, oh, let's go raid his house. Like, they really had to dot their I's and cross their T's to make sure that they were going in to do stuff. Then I heard the conspiracy theories that people were saying that they sent in Homeland Security to cover up whatever, like going into safes and all that other stuff, where they wanted to keep the Diddy stuff, like all his secrets or whatever it was, in regards of if he had video, if he had, files or whatever the case is on a lot of politicians, actors, musicians, powerful people, businessmen who have attended Diddy's freak offs, which we've known for years. It ain't just Diddy. There's been many of people out here who be having their little freak off parties and stuff. Brian Singer and a bunch of others who have their parties or whatever the case is, where a lot of celebrities go, and it's a party at a certain time, and then when they draw them curtains and dim the lights, and it becomes, they start to set the mood and things, you already know this party about to become something else. And there, I have heard stories where I forget whose party it was though, where they said that yeah, it would start out as a regular party at the house, and then at a certain time when they started to change up the mood in certain things, they're like, okay, well, this party about to become something else. If y'all don't want to be here for that, then y'all can go. She liked the idea of them doing that versus all of a sudden just, I'm just gonna happen. I'm just going to the bathroom to go pee, and then all of a sudden I walk in the room and Diddy up in here finger popping some 14-year-old boy. Oh, come in and join the party. Oh no, I'm good, sir. Like, I don't want to walk in on that. I don't want to have to witness that. And now you put him in positions like, well, fuck. I see this shit going on. Should I spill the tea? Should I not spill the tea? Like, I mean, if I do spill the tea, I could end up unalive, or I could end up blackballed from Hollywood with no job, especially when a lot of us, who are artists, the whole point of us getting into business is because we don't want to go and work that 9 to 5 or at the Dollar Tree or McDonald's or whatever, or like some regular office. A lot of us are in the industry because we love what we do and we want to do those things. We don't want to have to be coming in with y'all little crazy whatever shit y'all doing behind the scenes and put me in a position where I'm doing this stuff. So more tea started coming out about Diddy. And I've been saying, I called him the Jeffrey Epstein of hip hop. I've been calling him this for weeks. And then now it seems like Young Miami, and I did say this too, Miss Carisha, I said she hears Ghislaine Maxwell, and it looked like, sidebar, Diddy did hire Ghislaine's attorney. That's another red flag. How you hiring that person that actually his client's in fucking prison for doing the shit she did with them prostitutes and underage girls and sex trafficking? You hire the same attorney? Are you dumb? Puffy, are you dumb? I don't get it. So they busy up in here trying to say that, well, music producer Rodney Little Rod, shout out to him because he is spilling all the tea. Like like the other day we talked about Cuba Gooding Jr. diddling with people. I forgot to tell y'all about Cuba Gooding Jr.'s story. So apparently Cuba Gooding Jr., I met him one time, and when I worked at AMC, he was we were hosting the red carpet premiere of American Crime Story, the O.J. Simpson one. And remember, he played O.J. And John Travolta was there with his, I think he didn't have the wig on. I think he was bald, if I remember. But John Travolta was there, lovely. You know, a lot of the cast was there and stuff. Child, when I tell you that, I don't know what the fuck Cuba was on, but he was on some shit. He was drunk. I don't know if he was drunk. He might have been doing some other type of drugs, but he was not all the way there when I met him and I saw him from a distance because I was working like I forgot what I was doing, but I do remember. Oh, I think I was helping out with like the setup and stuff for like the artists or whatever to take the popcorn and all other stuff in the theater so they could go watch the screening because we were like I said, we were hosting premiere. I think it was on like the fifth floor or whatever, but in one of the big theaters, of course, because we wasn't doing an IMAX, Adobe, and those other ones. But I do remember like Cuba was on something. He looked like he was sweating. So might have been some alcohol and some of that booger sugar. But anyway, let's get into the story. So now they're talking about that Young Miami was his prostitute and was running drugs. So when Battle Mogul Sean Diddy Combs has a new set of accusations to deal with after his mansions were raided over the allegations of involvement in various illicit activities. According to Rodney Lil Rod Jones, Diddy was involved in the distribution and use of a dangerous drug known as, and I don't know how to pronounce this because I ain't never heard of it, but I'm going to pronounce it as Tucci because Tuci is similar to Stanley Tucci. And, you know, I'm thinking that y'all try to be, because, you know, the one thing about hip hop, y'all love, you know, Italian stuff and fancy names, Versace and, you know, Mugler, which is French. Y'all love stuff like that. So, and you know, hip hop has always been incorporating like a lot of the fashion houses and stuff. So I'm gonna call it Tucci because I think that's how you spell it or pronounce it. And it said which also may have put the bad boy honcho on the Fed's radar. Now the accusations, part of a larger lawsuit, were revealed during a sequence of events surrounding Pharrell Williams' Something in the Water Festival in Virginia. Jones says that Diddy was snorting the booger sugar during rehearsals. His dissatisfaction with the booger sugar led him to seek a more potent substance, Tucci, which he allegedly did regularly with the help of his chief of staff, Christina Coram. I think that's how you say it in Coram. When Combs's employee and alleged drug mule, Brendan Paul, who we talked about the other day, and he looked like a damn child himself, realized he'd forgotten the dope, a frantic effort to secure it ensued. Coram allegedly orchestrated for Young Miami to transport the drug from Miami to Virginia on Diddy's private jet. Hold on, let me move down this thing a little bit. Okay, so it says the lawsuit details how members associated with Diddy, referred to as the Combs Rico Enterprise, were involved in procuring, transporting, and distributing a plethora of drugs, including booger sugar, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, mushrooms, and notably Tucci. These substances were allegedly smuggled in carry-on luggage during national and international travels, including trips made by Young Miami on behalf of Diddy. Tucci, also known as pink booger sugar, is a potent mix that includes 2C-B. I don't know what the fuck that is. Child, I didn't do well in science and all this. Well, I know science and things, but as far as, what is it, chemistry? Like chemistry in school, I was not doing it because I was afraid I was going to blow some shit up. So one of the things with chemistry, I was not fucking with that. So it said 2C-B, ketamine, MDMA. You mean Madonna? And caffeine. Despite its name, the pink dyed powder rarely contains actual booger sugar, but sometimes includes opioids like Fenty, which concludes a sense of euphoria and heightened energy levels while enhancing libido and helping with, I believe it, with an erectile dysfunction. Because you know at this point with Diddy and all that sweating he do, you know he give dead dick during sex. I know he do. He just look like he do. Well, I don't know he does. It just look like he does. But anyway, let's continue. Originating from Southeast Asia and Colombia, Tucci has become a grim staple in the club scene in Europe. I was like, how am I not aware? Maybe because I'm like, how am I just not hearing about this Tucci? Probably because I don't be doing drugs like that. First of all, back in the day when I was clubbing, I just did like ecstasy and freaking. I did the booger sugar every now and again, but that shit was potent and it was clean. It wasn't mixed with all this shit y'all mixing stuff in y'all drugs now. I dabbled in the white powder every like back in the day. I don't anymore. I don't mess with that stuff because now with the shit y'all be lacing stuff with, even marijuana ain't fucking pure no more. The stuff y'all be putting things in, and I be hearing everybody with these accidental overdoses. They putting the drug deals, putting fentanyl and every damn thing. I don't mess with drugs. The only thing I do is I'll have the occasional drink. I stay away from all that because you're not gonna have me out here looking like Wendy Williams in that damn um docu-series. Where I don't know who the fuck I am or where the hell I am. So it said Diddy and Paul's legal troubles worsened during Paul's arrest at the Miami Opalaka Executive Airport. Paul was charged with booger sugar possession and possession of a controlled substance during Homeland Security's raids on Diddy's properties in LA and Miami on Monday, which was March 25th. These raids are part of a broader federal investigation into Diddy for allegations of SA, as trafficking, and the solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms. Child, this is literally sounding like something out of like an episode of Empire. It's like giving me full on 50 Cent franchise of Power and Ghosts and all that stuff. You know what? We need a damn TV series surrounded by this. Can we make a TV series more? And I'm not talking about Tubi because I don't need Tubi doing a little knockoff BS, whatever. Like the girl, like that movie, the girl who got the rapper, the female rapper who got shot in the foot. Like we don't need no foolishness like that. I need a real series or movie or whatever based off this shit because this is some bananas stuff that I'm gagging. I ain't know nothing about no damn pink cocaine. I mean, I kept calling it booger sugar because I want to get flagged by, certain words you can't say on the YouTube. But child, this is a mess. And then there was another story that not only is Carisha being called as like a sex worker and a drug mule and all other stuff. Child, there was some tea that came out about 50 Cent baby mama Daphne Joy that she was messing with Diddy, and apparently what did he say? He said on his IG, I didn't know you was a sex worker, big eye emoji, you little sex worker, LOL. Yo, this shit is a movie. See, same thing 50 saying Branson and now you sitting up in here promoting your stuff. I'm talking about Branson Cognac and Leche Mind DeRoy. And then also posted something said Mr. Combs has hidden cameras in every room of his home, has recordings of several celebrities, artists, music label execs, and athletes engaging in illegal activity. These individuals were recorded without their knowledge and consent. Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of every person who has attended his freak off parties and his house parties. And this was something that was screenshot off Fox News that 50 Cent posted on his Instagram and said SMH, this is going to be good. What you want to bet? I'm going to get these tapes. I'll pay top dollar for them. You've been over there. I don't go to puffy parties. Well, look, some people out here saying that Homeland Security went and, went up in there to get them tapes or whatever that was probably in a safe or whatever. So we probably ain't never going to see these damn videos. We never going to see these tapes. Somebody need to leak the shit. I'm hoping that we do get it. Because I definitely need to see it. But also I saw before we started the show, because when I was putting it together, that 50 is trying to go and take Daphne to court and get full custody of his son with her because I think his name is Sire, that he wants to get custody of their son together because apparently he did not know that his baby's mother, who he's only with for a year, was running, was putting the coochie out there for sale. But why should y'all be surprised when y'all get with these certain type of girls who they get with y'all because they trying to get with a rapper, or athlete, or whatever the case is, so that way they can use their pussy for currency, so that way they can, be set for life with that child support. So he's talking about he's taking her to court. I'm gonna definitely keep my eye on that story as it develops. And then last but certainly not, because we do got way more Diddy stuff, and I'm gonna get to y'all comments. And I do see that there is a lot of comments that I need to get to, but I'm just trying to get through all this Diddy stuff. So Al B. Shore, who is Quincy's biological father, who was adopted by Diddy, and because Al B. Shore had Quincy with Kim Porter. Kim Porter was with Diddy at the time and all this other stuff. And I'm gonna get into the whole thing about Kim Porter and how Diddy was with Jennifer Lopez while he was still with Kim Porter. And Jennifer Lopez trying to act like she was in this full-on relationship, like she wasn't aware she was the other woman. But we're gonna get into that story coming up. That's the big story that I saw floating around. And I was like, oh, I gotta bring this to the show today. So the former singer Albie Shore asked his son Quincy Brown to come home after federal agents raided his adopted father Sean Combs' mansion in Homely Hills on Monday. The 55-year-old uploaded a photo on Thursday morning, which is today, urging the 32-year-old to return to his side, saying hashtag letter to my son, began to capture come home. He continued to write, the door is wide open. You're safe here, son. Love you, Pops. You're biological. He closed out the medium brown toned raised first fist emoji. Look at you. You know, I thought I was the only one that was doing that. I was like, based on my complexion, I'll be putting certain fists up about stuff. First of all, let me actually bring up that IG post so that way y'all could even see what I'm talking about. It's like, as a class, yeah, we're going, I like to involve y'all in some things. First of all, shout out to Quincy. That is a beautiful fucking man. He is 32 years old, so I can say that. We're not that far up in age, but yeah, he is a good looking young man. But anyway, so shout out to him. And look at Melba Moore in the chat. Shout out to that icon. She right here. If y'all see, and Angelica Ross. I was like, I love me some Melba Moore. She be telling it like it is. But anyway, so I love the fact that he said this, that you know what? And he also said that he also posted a cryptic note say, I do agree my expectations about you were driven strictly from my optimistic view of you. Hopefully your grimy ways will dissipate with age and or your current state of affairs that will eventually expose that you were on the payroll and secretly part of the shenanigans, undo the puzzle. And this is I don't know what he was talking about with that, with the cryptic message or whatever, but I do feel like Al knows where the bodies is very quiet as it's kept. There's people out here that believe that Diddy had Kim Porter unalive because she was going to come out with a tell-all, which is why you think why do you think that people like Kimora and so many others have been leaving cryptic messages and things when it comes to Diddy, Russell Simmons, that sort of thing, because they don't want to end up, at the bottom of the ocean with their feet put in cement. Because a lot of these hip hop moguls want to run around like they Don Corleone or Al Capone. Like a lot of them running around like they gangsters or trying to be. Speaking of which, where is Mary J. Blige? I need her to speak up. That's supposed to be her brother. Why she ain't speaking? She been real quiet, and I do believe she know where them bodies is buried. Cause she another one that's a victim of abuse from her growing up, her childhood, to her being in a relationship with KC. I mean, well, no, it was JoJo, right? Wasn't she in a relationship with JoJo from Jodeci? And he used to beat her ass up and all over the place. And they were doing drugs together and all kinds of stuff. And she was always an abusive related, even down to Ken Do. He was emotionally abusive. I don't think he was physical, but he was emotionally abusive and doing all kinds of crazy shit to her. So abuse always manifests in different ways when it comes to her. So I would love to hear what Mary J. Blige got to say. Little Kim was good. Faith Evans was good. Because I do believe that Diddy may have had something to do with Christopher Wallace not being here. I mean, isn't he worth more dead than alive? Allegedly. So yeah, so shout out to Quincy. I'm glad that he got himself up out of there when it came to whatever was going on with him and Diddy and all. So do I think he may have been involved with some stuff? Oh, and I forgot to bring this up too. Some people out here speaking to Quincy because Quincy is not his biological son. Some people don't believe Justin, who is supposed to be Diddy's son with Misa, the stylist, is not his either. Some people believe that there was a bodyguard who's now no longer with us, as in he's not part of the union or of this earth. The bodyguard that was around Diddy may have had a little hunchation sensation situation with Misa, and then she got pregnant by him. And when you look at Justin, I do not see no features of Diddy in him. You see it in King Combs, you see it in them twins. Them twins basically look like Diddy with a wig on. And it's no shade. I'm just saying, look at pictures of them. They look like Diddy with a wig on. And you see the other, you see and you look at King Combs, he look just like his father. But why when you look at Justin, he don't look nothing like his father? He got all of these features. And when you look at Diddy, Diddy got them strong features. So how come one of the kids are, I don't want to start no conspiracy theory, but I'm just saying. Look at that boy. Look at that picture. Now, speaking of which, because we got some clips I want to get to, and then we're going to get to these comments. I want to talk about his former backup dancer, to be Tanika Ray. Now, Tanika Ray, I knew from Extra, but I did not know her from I didn't know that she was a backup dancer of his. So it's always funny when you find out people humble beginnings and stuff. Something like Jennifer Lopez, a lot of people didn't know she was a fly girl before she became like this big actress, singer, or whatever you want, triple threat. So she's speaking out, and I saw this clip that she posted online. She said that she experienced a horrific incident while in his employ in the mid 90s in an Instagram post on Wednesday. And it wasn't just her, but Torre came out and said some stuff about him too in regards of his a relative. He didn't say if it was. He didn't say what type of relative it was, but he said it was a relative of his who was male, and he asked Diddy to do him a solid and give him an internship. But the internship ended when I guess he propositioned the boy to come stay with him and spend the night with him or whatever, and the boy declined, and so the internship ended because he wouldn't give in to Diddy's sexual advances. He told that to my girl, Joy Reid, and I love me some Joy Reid. So we have both those clips. I'm gonna play the woman Tanika Ray first. Well, actually, no, I'm gonna play the woman Torre first, and then I'm gonna play the Tanika Ray one. So please hold, and let me pull it up. And here we go.
Many years ago, okay, I know this man well enough to call him and say, hey, I need a favor. Yeah. And this might have been 10, 12 years ago that I called him and say, hey, I have a family member who I want you to hire them as an intern. Yeah. And I have never talked about this publicly. And he said yes. And they were flying around, one of the interns, Atlanta, Miami, whatever, on the jet, in the house, whatever. And then the internship stopped abruptly, like 3 or 4 months into it. Yeah. And I spoke to my family member, like, well, what happened? And they wouldn't say. Yeah. And I'm like, why did it end? He wouldn't say. And years later, they finally came out, and this is a male, and said that Puff had said, come home, stay the night with me, or the internship is over. And they said, absolutely not. He said, absolutely not. And the internship ended.
Okay, so yeah, I wanted to give y'all a taste of that so that way you could know what it was coming from. And my thing is, if that's how he treats his friends, I wonder how you treat your well, we kind of know how he treats his enemies. But it's like if these people are supposed to be your friends or whatever, how are you running out here doing like this stuff to your so-called friend? Like you really can't contain yourself to the point where it's like, okay, this is supposed to be a friend of mine. So now I want to see how far that I could use my power because whoever this person is with, I want to see if I can get in a draws or whatever. Like, what is wrong with some of you celebrities? Like, or you people in business. And it's funny how some people was making excuses over it. And I'm like, so y'all never took like when you work a regular job, let's take celebrity out of it. When you work a regular job, aren't most of us or all of us required to take a sexual harassment course? Every job that I've worked, I've had to take a sexual harassment course. They teach you about quid pro quo, which is Trump's favorite damn word because he know what that he may not know how to speak a different language, but he know quid pro quo when he hear it. So they teach you all these different things. So y'all never took a sexual harassment course, or was y'all just not paying attention, just clicking whatever, and then just going along with it, but still out here doing some bullshit? So that I don't understand. In regards to the job, you should not be using your power to take advantage of anybody. So let's go to the Tanika Ray clip and then we'll come back.
Mine is horrific and only 5 people know it. And I probably will never tell it. But since then I've been like, yep. And I also am very intimately aware that you tell your truth and you become victimized over and over and over and over and over and over. And mind you, I then interviewed him many times. I have a lot of stories, y'all. I've been in Hollywood for 25 years, maybe longer, 30. I got a lot of stories. Unfortunately, maybe I'll write a book one day, but it just is so traumatizing that women just want to live every day and feel safe. And when we revisit, we live in a state of victimhood and nobody wants to live there. So for those of you like, why didn't you say something then? Because we just want to live. We want to be happy and we really want to forget the trauma. So there's that,
And I think it's not only just, wait, hold on. I didn't want to leave her looking crazy in that picture as I freeze it. And it's not only that, I think people also need to realize it was the times. In the 90s and the 2000s, there was no way that people felt safe enough to come out and say this stuff. Thank God we have something called social media where people are using the power of social media to get their stories out there so it could go viral. So that way, when you see these stories out here, there's some sort of safety net protection, whatever behind that. I don't understand why people, well, why didn't y'all say something back then? Did y'all know how the industry was back in the day? The industry is not wasn't being exposed as somebody. It was all about people getting a bag. People just moved and kept doing what they had to do to get what they needed to get where they needed to go. There was no safety net or something or another like that in those times, especially when you have someone who's a mogul. You think them people that work at Bad Boy or whatever the case was going to go against him? Especially when you are the boss. When you're in a position of power, people are not trying to go against that because you're gonna get fired. And not only that, because Diddy probably know people who are other moguls in the industry who are probably going to his freak offs, who are probably doing all the drugs and things that he was doing with them. He's got the power to say, don't work with that person. They're too difficult. They're a troublemaker. They're doing all those things. So you have to look at the bigger picture. But a lot of people just want to run off with their mouth. They want to say dumb shit. That's why I got to give a shout out to Rachel and Buki, who said, come on, guys, how would it have benefited her speaking out in 1996? Wasn't it in those same 90s that Dr. Dre publicly beat up a black female journalist and got a fucking star on the Walk of Fame? I saw that the other day. I ain't watched that bullshit. And that was all over, what is it, doing, he was all over Jimmy Kimmel doing a Grey's Anatomy skit with Snoop Dogg and Eminem. They would say, wasn't it in the same 90s that Dr. Dre publicly beat up a black female journalist for speaking out against him and nothing happened to him? And he went ahead to blackball her and kill her career. Not only that, but he beat her ass in front of a bunch of witnesses. A lot of celebrities witnessed it. She did what was best for her to survive at the time. Please give these victims grace. Be happy instead that they finally felt safe enough to speak on their experiences. I wish there was a way that I could figure out how to scroll down on Instagram when you on your computer and stuff, but and then somebody went and wrote, I guess something or another. I keep thinking how many people could have benefited from this. I was like, first of all, this is yet again people not understanding how this business works in regards. Oh yeah, people could if you would have came out sooner, the other people could have been protected from this happening to them. No, not really. Because somebody could have came out and said something, and they could have been, like we said, blackballed, whatever the case was. Their whole career is destroyed. They're told that these people are problematic, whatever, whatever, whatever. And then even if you are told, some people just go against their better judgment and do it anyway. So yeah, you could warn people, or as the saying goes, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink the water, correct? So I just want to point out there, like, you know what? Shout out to all of those people out there who feel brave enough to speak out on what happened to them. And she has a podcast. I had no idea. It's called Mama Stay with Tanika Ray. And then she said, "Oh yeah, women hold a lot in order to function every day in a man's world. Unfortunately, we can compartmentalize. We can. I think she meant to say compartmentalize because she put unfortunately we can compartmentalization. So it's like, unfortunately, we can compartmentalize our pain and carry on. We utilize the experience as a lesson and move differently. If I told my story in 1996, then what? I just knew to avoid him at all costs. Yes, I danced for him and kept my space. I was on the vote or die airplane and kept my space. I interviewed him for his project and kept my space. Nothing that is happening is surprising. Ladies keep space to heal and move on is key. Gathering to incriminate is goals. But in the wild world with a broke ass system, our healing is priority. Shame on all those men that let this continue. Shame on me, maybe for prioritizing my mental health, some would say. But after working in a place that snatches souls, mine is intact and of the light. I saved myself. Now, if someone needs me to pile on my story, give me a call. But I think Cassie got it. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. And that's all she had to say. Now, before hold on. So let me get to these comments because I see there's a lot of comments in here, and then I'm gonna get to this clip of Willie from Day 26 spilling tea about Diddy stealing their money. Um, okay, so it says Oh, so as Lovely T said in her video, shout out to her. You know I love me some Lovely T. Said in her video regarding Young Miami, never be jealous of these celebrities' lifestyle because you don't know how they got it and what they think. And that's what I've been saying too. I was like, child, whenever people be, you jealous of these celebrities or whatever, I was like, child, if y'all only knew the shit that go on behind the scenes. Like I've been to these events and I've seen some shit. So not to the level of like Diddy or whatever, but it's like if y'all knew, if y'all got a look behind the curtain, this is all like Wizard of Oz. It's smoke and mirrors. Like if you really got to see the man behind the curtain, y'all would be disappointed. Y'all would gag. Like I understand this business of how fake it is and how it's a lot of smoke mirrors, bullshit, and all this other stuff. That's why y'all be feeling like I just be out here bitter and whatever. It's like no, what I'm bitter about. I know how the world works. I don't walk around with rose-colored glasses on. I've been unplugged for the Matrix. My mind is free. I'm just trying to free y'all's. That's all I'm trying to do. And you can take you can take the information as you will. But I can only, I said earlier, lead you to the water. Only you have to be able to drink it. Or as Morpheus says to Neo, I can show you the door. You're the only one who can walk through it. So it's like you don't you don't know which God they thinking of worshiping. Probably MK Ultra or the other one. The Illuminati, as y'all like to always bring up in the conversation. That's my favorite word, booger sugar, because I gotta watch. I can't say the other word, the C word. So we gotta call it booger sugar. The curtains are being lifted and they're no longer spelling masses anymore. Or is what are you trying to say, sparing the masses? Well, anyway, Age of Aquarius, child, and it's funny how people are saying this is Dawn of Aquarius. Where's that from? Is that from oh no, that was in a movie that I saw. That it was a Broadway movie with Robert De Jesus, but it was about the Age of Aquarius. I know there's a song called Age of Aquarius, Dawn of Aquarius, somebody with an Aquarius in it. But yeah, they said this is the time where shit is coming out. Shout out to Cat Williams, my Virgo twin, because we both share birthday, September 2nd. He is older than me, way older. But September 2nd is my birthday with Cat Williams. Shout out to him. He said it was gonna be a reckoning and the shit was coming out, and y'all thought he was lying. Damn, I really wish I would have brought up the TikTok videos. Maybe I'll do it in the next one where there was this woman that came out in like November of last year that said that some tea was about to be spilled about Diddy and a raid and all this other stuff. She said it was going to happen in late March. Bitch, when I saw them videos on TikTok, I gagged. So I really thought I would have brought this up. But then again, like I said, my brain has been going a mile a minute, and there's been so much stuff that I was trying to bring up for y'all for videos, receipts, clips, all this other stuff for the show. I was like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to bring all this up for y'all to um remember to bring so much other stuff because I will admit my Virgo mind, I am overwhelmed with a lot of these videos and clips and stuff. I'm trying to get this story out to y'all for y'all to hear. But anyway, let me continue. Felix says, I did ecstasy and acid and I've done other things. There were times I wasn't sure if look, same here. And that's why I said, if there were things that I put myself in situations regarding drugs and sex, I'm surprised my ass is still alive. I said this to one of my friends a couple of, what was it, like last year? He said, me too. I was like, because the things I was doing up in the clubs, drug wise, and going to sex parties and putting myself in situations where I would meet guys on some sex apps and how child there was this one story one time I ended up in a crack house. There was another time I ended up where I met this guy on Grinder, and I'm so glad I be telling people where the fuck I'm at. I'll never do that again. First of all, the apartment was dark. There was really no furniture up in there. Then he's asking me to take off my clothes and put it in a garbage bag. I was like, oh, hell no, I got the fuck up out of there. I'm like, the killer's about to get me. Thank God I got out of there. Look, I have no problem spraying my own tea. But just know that that's something you should not do ever. I was like, Child, I thought I was gonna end up in like one of them. Like I thought I was gonna be one of the victims of Jeffrey Dahmer. Except it wasn't Jeffrey Dahmer; it was somebody else. But anyway, it said, well, look, I did bring up the surviving Diddy stuff, which I thought was a cackle. Where it's like surviving Diddy, we definitely need a surviving Diddy, chair. And I'm sure it's coming because didn't 50 Cent say that he was gonna make a surviving Diddy or surviving Puffy? We definitely need one of those. Anyway, so let me finish reading the rest of these comments and then move on to the thing. It said, I saw Al's note to his son on Instagram earlier. Yeah, I saw it this morning because like I told you, people was bombarding my thing, and it said the clip was no, I didn't see that one, but I did see there was a video that was floating around, and this was from years ago. And it's funny how like with the Diddy stuff, how things resurface. There's a video that was always floating around. I forgot who sent it to me years ago, but I remember there was a video of Justin Bieber where it looked like he was giving a baloney wash to Odell Beckham Jr., who was Kim Kardashian's ex after 6 months of dating. And Trey Songz was in the video also. And somebody was videoing, it was in a club, and it looked like that they was basically passing Justin Bieber around, which makes perfect sense as to why he wound up finding Jesus immediately after. Because y'all was out here doing stuff to that boy, allegedly. Felix said, I saw the clip last night, the Torre one, and look what's happened in the 40s and 50s in Hollywood. They were giving Judy Garland diet pills when she was a teenager, and Shirley Temple told about a guy who exposed himself. This is a tale as old as time when people need to realize when it comes to sexual assault or things that's going on in the community, and when you don't have an outlet that can expose these things, this is why people didn't speak. People seem to forget that social media is still a relatively new thing, that we're at a place now where people feel the need and the courage and the bravery to spill their tea and put it out there in the world. And you know what? Kudos to people who feel brave enough to do that. Like Willie Taylor from Day 26, who basically said that Diddy stole from the group, saying he robbed them. Now I want to play this clip, and shout out to my friend DJ Baker, because I see his post is literally on the side when you he was one of my sources that was sending me a lot of stuff today. I see his post where he was saying like, y'all don't need to be defending the predator. Y'all in the comments know what it is, and ain't no one jumping on any bandwagon. These are victims of his BS. Some of y'all need to chill and let people get their story out. Because some dumbass went and said, y'all signed the contract. Y'all signed to the terms of the contract. If he robbed y'all, then y'all could have sued and won. But instead, you're making Instagram videos 20 years later. You are defending him, which I hate when people fucking do that. Not defending Diddy in any way regarding his current situation, but shit like this, people need to get a grip. It's like when you preface your argument by saying, I'm not defending him, you clearly are, because you're blaming them for signing a contract. There's a lot of artists who have been robbed by Diddy in the industry. A lot of people. Oh, wait, speaking of which, I didn't even put my damn banner up, and I'm sitting here talking about this story. Oh, wait, it's not. Oh, I forgot it's not there. That's why I didn't put it up, because I didn't write this one. This is literally a last-minute post. But anyway, so it's like, y'all don't understand how this business works. 9 times out of 10, a lot of people, if not everybody, signs a shitty contract. There's very few that make it through that don't sign a shitty contract. But a lot of people are so happy to sign a contract that they don't read the fine print. A lot of times when it comes to labels, they tell artists to use the label's attorney, entertainment attorney, whatever, to go through with a fine tooth comb or whatever, making sure they got a good contract. All music contracts are shit. Trust and believe. I'll say most artists sign shitty record deals where they don't make no fucking money. They do. And how would they have known to do all this stuff? They're so happy to be in the room and to get signed to a label and have their dreams come true as they're promised by these crooks, that they'll sign anything. They don't know what to do. They don't know if they could, like, what type of attorney to sign. And a lot of times they're expensive. And a lot of times people don't realize that those attorneys that are part of the label are the label's attorney. So their job is to make sure that you sign, and you sign a shitty deal, because they're going to get their cut. Regardless, they work for the label. They don't work for you. They don't know they should go get their own entertainment attorney to look over the contract, because they're not reading. They're just so happy. So let's get to what Willie Taylor had to say.
Oops. In the house, in the box was labeled, take that. I was like, man, hell yeah, he robbed us. And we want our fucking money. God damn it. No, he did rob us though. I ain't bullshitting about the robbery. But hey man, he in a bit of a pickle right now. Daddy. Not funny. It's funny, but it's still, I don't know. I don't want to laugh at no shit while some shit happening, but hey, motherfucker say Diddy had got on a jet and got the fuck up out of there. That shit funny as hell to me. I was like, man, you gotta find a surveillance camera. Diddy had jogging to that bitch. They was probably hitting it on the surveillance. Shit would have been a shit show a long time ago. Never tried me. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, no. You know who to try, who not to try, I guess. I mean, it's what it is. You can tell by the way I walk, I ain't for real here. You know, so play with who you want to play with. Yeah, man.
All right. So look, at the end of the day, I'm glad, like I said, he got his people should be allowed to tell their story and come forward and talk about their experiences. Like, yeah, Day 26 got ripped off. So did Danity Kane. So did so many other artists who were under the Bad Boy umbrella. We've heard stories over the years about how Diddy would rob his own artists. And there were people out here who was talking about, well, it's so great now that, after 30 years, he decided to all of a sudden give everybody their publishing and everything back. And so was side-eyeing the whole damn thing like, okay. What's the real tea? What's the real agenda of why you giving this stuff up? So I never bought into the bullshit. I know people who did buy into it, and I side-eyed it, and I'm glad I stood 10 toes down in my gut that it was just like, I'm not buying the shenanigans. I'm not buying what Diddy is selling. And now when we see all this other stuff is coming out, now we hear about now all his dirt is coming, all the dirt that you swept under the rug is seeping under, seeping out of it. There's only so long you can bury your own tea before it comes back to bite you in the ass. So good luck to you, Willie. I know he's out here probably doing something. I remember he was on Love and Hip Hop at one point, so I don't know what he's doing. But you know what? These days, kids, y'all don't need no fucking record deals. Like, go independent, because these people will rip y'all off. These record labels are a joke. But anyway, so let's get into this story, child. So, once upon a time. Oh wait. Oh wait, no. I'm good. I'm good because I almost forgot about the other clip that I wanted to show y'all. So it'll flow directly into this one. So, with all this other stuff that was coming about Diddy and stuff, I remember I was making little comments about, okay, so J-Lo, what's going on? Like, I know she know where the bodies is buried. Because remember, at the time, she was dating Diddy, like, was at the beginning of her music career. Then she started messing, not messing with sexually, but messing with, she was with Ja Rule, and she was kind of getting more. She started as a pop girl, then she started infiltrating, like, those urban spaces, because, they try to bank on the whole part of her being part of the Bronx and everything, even though she was from the suburban part of the Bronx. But nevertheless, they wanted to get her they wanted to edge her up a little bit, give her some hood points or whatever. So then she started messing with Diddy. And I do not believe she ever loved Diddy. I think that she got with Diddy because Diddy was going to be beneficial for her career and she was looking for a mentor of some sort. And Diddy was there to help her out with her career, but probably saw his own little agenda getting with her as well. Because to me, I always look at Diddy as like, he's always got an agenda. I don't never see like he do things out of the goodness of his heart. To me, he always seems like he always got some shit up his sleeve. So the Daily Mail went and did this whole expose, and I was like, I need to bring this to y'all so y'all can hear this. So it said as you know, the rap moguls' homes in Miami Beach and Cali were raided by feds on Monday afternoon and part of an ongoing sex trafficking investigation and all this other stuff. And Diddy is 54, so is Jennifer Lopez. I didn't know they were the same age, but anyway. So Diddy broke his silence on Tuesday and pulled the Trump and said that he's a victim of a witch hunt and slammed the Department of Homeland Security for gross overuse of military-level force, as sources claimed his sons King, who's 25, and Justin, who's 30, has been traumatized after having guns pointed at them during the LA raid. Now, Diddy, isn't a stranger to scandal, and at the height of his fame, he made tabloid headlines for his tumultuous relationship with J-Lo, who's also 54. The duo bonded over their love of music, and Diddy quickly became like a mentor to the Jenny from the Block songstress. But after J-Lo, who has since found happiness with Ben Affleck, it's funny how she found happiness, but he always looked freaking miserable whenever he's with her. Truly believe she got with Ben because she thinks it's going to help her film career, something or another. Like give her some points because he's well revered in Hollywood. He's a Oscar winning filmmaker, screenwriter, that sort of thing. So anyway, it says that she detailed her past abusive relationships in her emotional 2024 documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told. Fans speculated that she was referring to her ex, Sean. Sources denied to Mail Online that J-Lo was referring about Diddy and that it was a subsequent relationship instead. What you trying to say? It was Mark Anthony? Because what you're not going to do is blame it on my Virgo brother. Because I know you don't like us, but you're not going to blame that on Mark. Mark probably saw you for your bullshit, and that's why y'all not married. But anyway, and she had 2 kids with him. But someone said Jennifer, who did not identify who had been abusive to her in the past, said there were people in my life who said I love you and then didn't do the things that were kind of in line with the weird word love. Being thrown around and manhandled like that is not fun. I mean, I was never in a relationship where I got beat up, thank God, but I've definitely been manhandled in a couple of other unsavory things. Rough, disrespectful. Fans on Reddit soon suggested that perhaps JLo was referring to her relationship with Sean, with one person writing, considering a bunch of allegations of P. Diddy are coming out, I wonder if there's a connection between speaking out publicly now. Either way, I hope she's doing better now. Female has contacted representatives of J-Lo and Sean Combs for comment. I think they meant the Daily Mail because they put FEMAIL. But anyway, so it said, talking to CBS Sunday Morning in 2019, the singer opened up about her highly publicized romance with Sean, calling it kind of crazy, heightened time in her life, saying, you know, Puffy and I both grew up in the Bronx. He grew up in the Bronx because I could have sworn he was from Harlem. If that's what she said he's from, we'll just go along with it. She said he had been in the music business and had all this success. I was just starting and making my first album when I met him. He became kind of a mentor to me at that moment. We had this kind of crazy, tumultuous relationship that ended in a bang. Are we talking about the bang from the woman Latanya Rubin, who was the victim of the nightclub shooting that involved Shine? That Shine was the one that allegedly pop-out her in the club, and Diddy had him take that bid. Take that. So it said it was definitely a moment, but I felt like it was necessary. He was meant to be in my life at that moment to teach me what I needed to know about the music business, about what kind of artist I wanted to be in the music industry. They were together for 2 years before splitting in 2001. She later said that she needed things. She ended things because she didn't feel like she could have a family life that she dreamed of with the musician. She also claimed he had cheated on her, telling Vibe in 2003, it was the first time I was with someone who wasn't faithful. I was in this relationship with Puff where I was totally crying crazy and going nuts. It really took my whole life in a tailspin. I never caught him, but I just knew. He'd say he was going to a club for a couple of hours and then never came back that night. The pair's romance first began when JLo was preparing for the release of her debut album On the 6th, which Sean helped produce. Now, during their relationship, JLo debuted her most famous outfit during the Grammy Awards ceremony in 2000. You know, the green silk chiffon dress from Versailles that was super low cut, barely covering her cleavage. But the couple also hit headlines after Jen and Sean were arrested in December 27, 1999, following a shooting outside the Times Square club in Manhattan. The two were charged with criminal possession of the weapon. I remember seeing that mugshot of her where she looked real upset. Guadalupe was like, oh, bitch, you need to get rid of his ass. So the charges were later dropped against her as she was determined to be uninvolved. Jennifer broke up with the rap mogul a month before his trial was slated to begin in 2001. He was ultimately acquitted on all charges. In 2014, Sean hailed the singer's famous derriere as a work of art that will go down in history. The record producer gushed over her incredible physique and it says he's lucky to count her among his exes, blah, 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 so on and so forth, whatever. But yeah, so there was stuff that she was saying that, oh, he was cheating on her and stuff. I don't think he was cheating. I think what he was doing was going back and forth between you and Kim Porter, because Kim Porter he was with before he got with you, but he was trying to balance both of y'all at the same time. And maybe she didn't know that he was with Kim, or maybe she just didn't care because whatever she was going to do, whatever she had to do to make it in this industry as a pop star, where she was also simultaneously working on her movie career. So I'm glad that she felt the need to tell her story. But at the same time, J-Lo, you are not really, in the words of Britney Spears, you're not that innocent in this whole situation in regards of what was going on with you and him. And then I also heard, because I don't remember if I said this earlier, that there was word that was going around that he had sold his rights to Revolt. The word on the street is he actually didn't sell the rights to Revolt. The fact of the matter is they said he still owns the rights, but he has got somebody interested in buying it. And the rumor is, because I saw that from numerous sources, are stating that the man that owns Essence magazine is interested in buying up Diddy's shares of Revolt. So I'll definitely keep y'all abreast of that story as it develops. But in regards of like this whole JLo thing, I'm glad that we're gonna, I guess, speculate till the cows come home and figure out who it is that she was at. Was she referring to him? Was she not referring to him? I do think that they had like a crazy rocky relationship. Do I think that he may have like smacked her around? First of all, we've known that Diddy is notorious for putting his hands on women that he's been in relationships in the past. Cassie being one of them, Kim Porter another one. I don't know if he put his hands on Misa. I would not be surprised if he did. But Diddy is not innocent in regards of like how he manhandles women, and I do believe that J-Lo was one of those women, and she's not going to come out flat out saying it because she still has a skyrocketing, she still has a big career in Hollywood. She's A-list. She's worked her ass off to get where she is. But is she innocent in this whole situation and stuff? No. But I'm glad she told her story. Now, another person I'm glad who told their story is Natanya Rubin, who was one of the victims of the club shooting, where she spoke out on News Nation and said that Sean took a bid, which is what we all said, that Sean did not pow her, that it was Diddy. So let's get to that clip.
Yeah, and you have said since really right after the shooting that it was P. Diddy who shot you. I mean, I think you even said it to the doctor that night, right?
I said it immediately. I literally watched them pull out the guns. I've had a clear point of view. I mean, for God's sake, I got shot in my nose. I was facing them directly. I watched everything occur and have described it, vehemently to all parties involved. I think in our society, we have respectability politics. There are people who want to be adjacent to power or celebrity or money, and there's a hierarchy of respectability. Because his name was more notable, he was believed rather than a victim who gave a first-hand account. By the grace of God, I survived.
Yeah, and this was also a different time. I mean, things were very, very different in 1999. I mean, did you sense right from the beginning that no one believed you?
Well, I don't think that was on my mind. I think first and foremost, I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 3. At the time, I was a mother of 2. And just surviving and getting home to my children was of the utmost importance to me. Being whole and being able to mother them. That was, primary on my list. I didn't have any reason to believe that to think that someone would not believe me. But as things unfolded, it was a very short period of time where I realized that's what in fact was happening.
So as I mentioned, Diddy has denied being the one who pulled the trigger. But this is interesting, Natanya. Rodney Jones, also known as Little Rod, is now suing Diddy for sexual harassment. That's something that's been in the headlines for the last couple of days. And there's a very interesting quote from his lawsuit that relates back to you that I want to read because it sort of ties all of this together. And it says, Jones claims in the lawsuit, Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shine. He shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual. So now you have Little Rod in this new lawsuit saying that Diddy told him that he actually was responsible. I mean, what did you think when you read that?
Well, I was incensed for a number of reasons. First and foremost, for the past quarter of a century, he's vehemently denied that he was responsible, even though I knew wholeheartedly, and as so many others who were in the club that night, we all knew he was responsible. A lot of people were afraid for their safety, justifiably so. I mean, the history that has occurred in the last 25 years proves that they were justified in being afraid. But I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid because I still bear I have 9 bullet fragments remaining in my face. So when I saw that count 128, that's actually count 128 of the lawsuit. When I saw that on a podcast that was analyzing all of the counts, I knew I had to speak. I had no intention of going viral. I was just getting it out of me. I have a mantra, having my say. There was a time a few years ago where I had a talk radio show called Having My Say. And that's very important to me. I believe everyone is entitled to have their say. Far too often we don't hear people or listen. And so I just wanted to get it out of me because it was like an audible, deep breath that I needed to take. And I made the TikTok video not expecting it to go viral. Went to pick up my daughter, came back home, and she's like, and I literally told her, I'm like, well, you're probably going to see it tomorrow. I made a video on TikTok. Maybe 100 people will see it. By the time we got home, she said, Mommy, it was 70,000 people. And I could not believe it. it was time. It was time for me to speak. I'd stayed quiet for 25 years. It was my time to speak.
Yeah, we don't know yet what's going to happen with the P. Diddy situation. Obviously, again, he hasn't been arrested. There's clearly a very big federal investigation happening now. But I'm thinking back to other cases, R. Kelly, Jeffrey Epstein. When they started to dig, all sorts of stuff came to the surface. They reopened old investigations. Would you like to see the investigation involving you getting shot at that club be reopened?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The irony is there was a grand jury. We all had to go and speak at the grand jury. J-Lo testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened because if that is in fact the case, she carried the gun in and she lied to the grand jury. It needs to be reopened. My shooting, ironically, the night I went into the club, I had a comb in my pocketbook called a rat tail comb. People in the beauty industry or people that use that type of comb would be all too familiar. It's just a comb. It can't do anything to harm anyone. And I had the very security officer who lied during the trial, Sharice, I forget her last name, but she literally took it from me and kind of pushed me like, you can't take this thing. This is a weapon to let other people in with guns. If someone had combed me 24 years ago, I'd be fine. You wouldn't even know my name. But having been shot by someone that was allowed to come into the gun when I couldn't bring in a comb, I would absolutely unequivocally like the case reopened. It needs to be reopened. And the saddest part for me is, had people taken what I said more seriously and listened more intently, 24 years worth of people probably would not have had to suffer.
Yeah, and
See, and that's why I wanna leave it there because I'm just like, and it goes on and on and on. But see, and let's go to show was like, you know what? She came out 20-some odd years ago and spoke out about everything that happened, and the people still didn't listen to her or want to take into account what she was saying. So it was like, damn if you do and damn if you don't. Y'all didn't want to hear it. And then I'm looking in the comments with the dumb idiots, but now she want to tell her story. Or I'm sure she getting paid. Y'all really think news article like news channels pull people in and tell their story and they're getting a check? It's the same thing like when they say with documentaries. First of all, nobody gets paid to do a documentary. Like it just goes to show like people just say stuff out of their mouth and they're so goddamn stupid that it's just like y'all don't even understand how this business works. So I'm glad she's telling her story. Who knows? Maybe with all this other stuff going on, that her case will be reopened. And the fact that why Diddy got acquitted is because people lied on the stand, and that's what she was saying. And then on top of that, you had him go and say, "Oh, I'll pay Shine a certain amount of money for years if you go and do this bid for me." And you say that it was your gun and you the one that shot her, and that's allegedly what happened. So I'm definitely gonna be keeping an eye on this story as it develops. And what I would chill, and this is why I'm gonna cuss DJ out. So I was literally on my phone while that video was playing, and then he sent me something else, and then I ended up pulling it up. So Kirk Burrows revealed in an interview that Diddy grabbed a bat and forced him to sell his shares of Bad Boy, and then fired him. And I don't know if this stuff is true, but let's, as a class, listen to it. And it's funny how people in the comments talking about you let a single guy with a bat muscle you out of your equity. And who said it was just him there? You know, did he run around with goons? I've been hearing them stories like he run around with people that had somebody beat up. Didn't he have oh my god, who was it that was one of the moguls that I guess was messing with Kim Porter or something at one point, and then Diddy didn't like it, and then had his goons whip his ass, and he ended up unaliving himself. There's been many stories about him doing so. It's just like y'all really just go by. I can't. Let me just play the clip.
Along the way, we had a lot of success. We were renegotiating Bad Boy with Arista. We were about to get a step up in the money. I had 25% of the company. I didn't know why he needed to get that back from me and then give it back to me again. That's like a trick. I didn't want to give it up. So he came into my office one day unexpected, him and Kenny Marsalis. Kenny had the briefcase with all the stock certificates in it, and Diddy had the bat. Like, this has to happen. I was messed up over was the fact that I started this company with you from day zero, and now the one solid thing that you told me I had, you want to take that back at this critical time that we're renegotiating and getting a step up on the contract. And he told me it was about renegotiating and that I should trust. I did, begrudgingly, angry, upset. It wasn't right. He got the stock back. I went on, tried to get over that, kept doing my job. I was caught up in the job. I forgot all about it. And next thing you know, I was fired. And since he had never given me the stock back, he never said that he would pay me anything or give me anything. He just avoided me all these years. It was the worst thing that could have ever happened. He didn't want to honor me with credit. He started erasing my names off the albums, taking me off of anything that had any history with the company. He never paid me not one thing out, percentage-wise, legacy-wise from Bad Boy Entertainment. What happened along the way, we had a lot of success. We were renegotiating Bad Boy with Arista. We were about to get a step up in the money. I had 25% of the company. I didn't know.
Okay. So they're basically repeating it. So yeah, so it just seems like at this point, it's going to be more people coming out with their stories. There's going to be more stuff coming out. This is going to go on and on. I don't think it's going to come to an end anytime soon. You know, I will definitely be keeping my eye on this story. There's so much Diddy T. I'm sure I'll be talking about this for the next couple of months. And yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of all these stories, because Chad, this was a lot. I think I spent like 30 minutes, maybe longer, to just breaking down all the Diddy tea. Because it's like I had to come with y'all with the receipts and all this other stuff. And I'm not gonna listen to the noise of the people on social media bitching and moaning something. Oh, now y'all wanna come out with stuff, or how you gonna let somebody sing you out of things? I was like, okay, it's funny how like you can't see something or take people's word for things unless you're in that situation. And if you're not in that situation, or you've never experienced something, you're gonna call somebody a liar. It's just like, I just don't understand people. But anyway, let me read the comments. So it said, I just saw someone say Derek. Yeah, Diddy is black. I said that Diddy's a black Epstein. I've been saying that for the longest. I said he's a black Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell is basically Carisha. Or Carisha's Ghislaine, the assistant. Except she was allegedly hunting him. We didn't know exactly what the relationship was with him and Young Miami. Now we know she was allegedly running that pink cocaine and you know, running that coochie. And I saw JT from City Girls was like, she was like, oh, you're not gonna lump me in this shit. I ain't got nothing to do with all that other stuff going on there with Diddy. She said, while that was all happening, I was in rehab dealing with her own drug issues. So but it said People Magazine just posted that the Justin Bieber clip I was talking about. Justin was 15 and Diddy was talking to him about getting girl. It wasn't not only that, but let's also not forget about him and Usher. Where Usher was staying over at Diddy house, and they talking about they was wrestling over boxes of cereal and shit. And it's like, first of all, you a wealthy ass man. Who the hell out here wrestling for cereal like y'all living up at the Motel 6? Like, and then on top of that, why are you wrestling around with this little child? So I do believe something happened to Usher. Anyway, let's get to the rest of the show. We got well, beyond the next one that I've got, we got 3 more topics and we out of here. So let's talk about Simon and his relationship with Portia. Now, normally I don't be talking about them because I feel like they both get on my goddamn nerves. First of all, Simon want to carry a damn peach. And Portia, I feel like, you know what she is? Well, I call her Horsha, because she gives me basically like, you basically been using your coochie as currency and getting with rich men. And probably there's only 3 African rich men that live in Atlanta. The rest of y'all is a bunch of sissies and punks. But to me, when I look at Portia, it's like, yeah, we know why she got with his ass. It's because she was looking for a sense of security. I was ain't give his ass for love. That man ain't attractive. The only thing on him that's white is them teeth. And I know he on that Ozempic. Because at one point she was a big girl. But Portia got him together. She got him dressing good. And them teeth is white. And he slimmed down. So apparently, I don't know if y'all know this, but they are currently, from what I've heard, they're filming The Real Housewives of Atlanta, the reboot. So we already mentioned who's a part of the cast, all this other stuff. But apparently, Simon does not want cameras filming at their mansion. And he sent out a cease and desist. So Page Six is revealing that the entrepreneur has sent a cease and desist letter to True Entertainment, the production company behind the Bravo reality series, on Thursday to demand it stop filming at his house amid his divorce from returning cast member Portia. The legal letter obtained by Page Six states that Gubadia is the sole owner of his Georgia house and as such does not consent to the release, disclosure, or publication of any photograph of the property, nor does he consent to the taping, filming, or recording of the property, including any aspects of any activity in or above the property. Gubadia, who's 59, attached a copy of the deed as evidence that Williams, who's 42, does not have a stake in the nearly $7 million home which he purchased in November of 2021. Failure to comply comply with the request herein will result in Mr. Gubadia taking legal action accordingly. The letter continues. Reps for True Entertainment did not immediately return page 6's request for a comment. Now, y'all know Williams filed a divorce with Gabati in February after a year of marriage, and I think it was because of all the stuff that was coming out about him in regards of, the scamations and things, and how he was allegedly getting his money and all this other stuff, and how he owed, private companies and stuff a lot of money and all this other stuff. So, um, Portia, I believe, decided to distance herself because now the jig was up. The curtain, they pulled the curtain back and realized that it's all a damn ruse, and this is some fraudulent BS going on. And she trying to distance herself from it. And then we saw that her and Nene was going in and having an issue, whatever the case was. But here's the thing. If he is a sole owner and he doesn't want people filming at the house and she don't have no say-so and everything, because, yeah, technically you are the wife and all this other stuff, but if he don't want people filming, we'll see if that actually works and you won't be able to. But on Portia's situation, I'm like, she don't necessarily need to show her house. She can go other places. Don't she have that, what happened to the previous house? Did she give it to her mother or her sister? I don't know. She could film other places. She could meet up with the girls at certain events. She can go hang out at the other girl houses and film scenes with them. Or if she need to do things with her child or her family and stuff, they could film at other places. They just gonna have to figure out, they could work around it. So it's unfortunate that we won't get to see this lavish lifestyle that Portia was living with her estranged husband and showing off the mansion. But if he say that that's his house and he don't want y'all filming there, I guess y'all gotta abide by what it is that he said that he doesn't want, and that is y'all filming up in his house, because he probably don't want y'all up in there seeing some stuff, and the feds coming to raid his house like they raided Diddy. Maybe that's what it is. So that's all I gotta say on that. That's probably the shortest damn topic I've ever done on this show. But anyway, let's look at the comments. It says, if Diddy is found guilty, who was he bringing down with him? Good question. I'm sure I'm sure where the bodies is buried. Do I really think that Diddy is the kingpin of all of this? I do believe that, like the De Leon or the Liquor Line and stuff that he was doing, all this other stuff. I feel like he's a bona fide influencer. I believe he is the face. He does not own it. And I do believe that he's probably like just the face of the organization. I do believe that there's some hires up, and that maybe there is some truth to the fact that, maybe the feds was busting in that, kicking in the door and waving the 4-4 because they wanted to get up in the safe and find out, where he got shit hidden. And if Diddy was smart, he'd have copies hidden somewhere else as currency. I mean, that's what I would do. I've seen enough movies to know that. Yeah, Usher. It's like, it's the child. It's the pedophilia, the craziness and stuff that's going on in this industry is just sending me. Okay, so let's move on and let's talk about House of Villains season 2. Now, I don't know if y'all seen the first season. The first season was all right. Like we had who was in it? Like we had Tanisha, Johnny Bananas, Anfisa, Shake from Love Is Blind. We had Johnny Fairplay from Survivor. We had Omarosa, and we had, her notorious fight with Tiffany Pollard. So season 2 was cute. I mean, season 1 was cute. They had like a couple of people up in there that I was like, okay. But season 2, bitch, I have to tell you, this new season of Villains, I'm here for it. And I noticed, like, in the beginning, I couldn't really watch it because House of Villains was on E, and they really didn't show who was on the it wasn't streaming nowhere. It wasn't until recently they put the whole season up on Peacock, and I was able to see the full season. I can only see the first 2 episodes for free on E. But I think, like, these streaming services need to realize that the only way you could watch certain, like, not all of us have cable and stuff. So the only way I could watch shows is on streaming. And it would make sense for them to put E stuff on it. Sidebar, shout out to Hulu and Disney Plus. I just heard that they merged. So I'm getting rid of Hulu because now I found out that as of yesterday, they have the Hulu Disney Plus bundle. And for both, you only pay $20. I said, bitch, count me in because I'm already paying $20 for Hulu alone. And then I'm also paying for Disney Plus. I said, y'all out your mind with this. So now I can get rid of Hulu. And I feel like it's only a matter of time before Hulu actually does officially become a part of Disney Plus, and then Hulu by itself just won't exist. So I might as well just do it now and just get the $20, pay the $20 for the bundle and just be done with it, because I'm not paying for 2 things, especially when I have family members sharing my stuff. So And I love the way that Disney Plus has a setup. That was just a sidebar that I wanted to add to it. But anyway, so so basically, according to Entertainment Weekly, they said that the season 2 cast will feature Richard Hatch from Survivor, the challenge 3-time champion Wes Bergman, because they had Johnny Bananas last season, so it makes sense to have Wes on there. And Tiffany Pollard is returning, looking for redemption after she was cut from the season early. And they realized because that's when their ratings went through the roof. I think after that, nobody pretty much cared. Quite as scared, I didn't. And shout out to Tamisha for winning. I'm glad it wasn't Omarosa, but bringing Tiffany back will definitely boost the ratings, in my opinion, even though there's some of the people that's on there I actually like. So we got people from Big Brother, The Bachelor, RuPaul's Drag Race, Real Housewives are all a part of it. So let's go through the cast as a class. Let me actually mirror this so that way y'all can see it. Please hold. So so our first person is Wes from the challenge. I actually like Wes. I believe he said he retired from doing the challenge. A lot of them say that because Leroy said he retired too, but he's about to be on the All-Stars. I don't even know if that's aired yet, but Leroy said he retired and now he back because I guess since he knocked up Cam, I don't know if they got married. Now he need money. So I'm here for Wes because Wes is a villain of sorts. He always was being manipulative and doing stuff with people on the show, always trying to find a way to manipulate the people and starting alliances, and it always backfired, but he kept doing it. So I admired him for tenacity, even though it always ended up backfiring. I got his ass sent home. That was like the last time he was on the season. Now, Teresa Giudice from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I have to say, I'm here for this. I actually knew that Teresa was going to be on the show before the whole official cast dropped, because I had been hearing rumblings that she was a part of the show. So shout out to her. I do like the fact that she is being a part of the show and she's doing other shows outside of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, which I'm going to say, like, when I first saw that trailer for the Real Housewives of New Jersey, I was like, okay, it's yay. They're bringing it back. I really wasn't that excited, but I'll definitely be watching because I watched the show. So I like the fact that Teresa is a part of the season. Now, Jesse Goddard from Big Brother. I don't watch Big Brother. I've never really been interested in Big Brother. I have no idea who he is. He is cute, though, and I seen him without a shirt on. So there's some eye candy. Richard Hatch from Survivor. Now, that was around the time when I started watching Survivor. I believe he won the first season, and he was definitely a villain. And, shout out to having LGBT representation on the show. So shout out to him. Victoria Larson, The Bachelor. I don't know her. That dress is atrocious. What is that? Yeah, I don't care. Now, Larissa Lima, 90 Day Fiance. I don't watch 90 Day Fiance. I'm distracted by them titties, or should I call them flotation devices? I don't know her either. So we're gonna go through her. Now, speaking of LGBT, shout out to Candy Muse from RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, if there was anybody that was on RuPaul's Drag Race that was a villain, or is labeled a villain, it'd be her. Remember with her and Tamisha Iman, and they iconic argument that they had on the show. And I like Candy. And I don't feel like that villain thing has escaped her. Sidebar, you know what I would love to see on the show? I would love for next season that probably Jeremy Carey, aka the artist formerly known as Fifi O'Hara. That would be a good show for him to do, is to go on House of Villains and to redeem themselves in some sort of, because remember they tried to do it during their season of All Stars and they failed miserably. Like, you really was showing your entire ass. So the only one that was able to really redeem themselves during that season of All Stars was Roxy Andrews. It backfired on Fifi. So it'd be nice to see them go on there. But I guess after that, they probably not interested in ever doing reality TV. But I did hear that Jeremy was in New York yesterday to judge a drag pageant at the Monster. So shout out to them. Oh, damn, I went too fast. Hold on. So who else? Okay, so then we have Camilla Poindexter from the Bad Girls Club. I'm not a Bad Girls Club fan. I don't watch the Bad Girls Club, so I don't know her either. She's cute, though. She gave me Robin Gibbons tease, but I don't know her. Now, Tiffany Pollard. I'm glad that Tiffany's back on the show. She looks okay. When I first saw her, I was like, ma'am, you were way too skinny. I hope she's not on that Ozempic, because I know a lot of people was using that. And when I saw her in the video, she was looking a little too thin, and she looks sick. So I hope she's not. I have a feeling she's using that Ozempic, but she was fine physically to begin with. Like, I liked her curves. And I forgot to post a picture. And the last but not least, it's not theirs, but Safari from Love and Hip Hop is going to be a part of it also. So it's supposed to premiere this fall. And shout out to them. Okay, so we got 2 more topics, and then we're done with the show. So, Karamo. Apparently, I don't know if y'all remembered or knew or care, but he has a talk show. Apparently, it's been renewed. Today, they've been announced they're renewing it for a 3rd season. So, congratulations to him because he's got that, and he's got also Queer Eye. Now, Tracy Wilson, Executive Vice President for NBC Universal Syndication Studios and E! News, revealed that news today. Karamo was hosted by Queer Eye star, author, actor, producer, and activist Karamo, saying with his direct, no-nonsense approach, Karamo is established himself as one of daytime TV's most authentic and innovative hosts. This is what Tracy Wilson, EVP of NBC Universal Syndication Studios, had to say. In each episode, Karamo tackles a wide range of topics, often intense and dramatic subject matters, while boldly representing all sides of the story with a goal of getting to the emotional core of the conflict. We look forward to another season of compelling shows from Karamo and his very talented team. So that's cute or whatever. It says that the conflict-based talk show utilizes Karamo's unique personal journey to foster human connection, addressing topics including infidelity, DNA mystery, parenting, and complex family dynamics. The show also features a popular segment called Unlock the Phone, where guests have the opportunity for Karamo's investigative team to uncover their partner's cell phone history for full. I ain't doing that. But apparently it says that he's doing well with his show. It said that he's seen substantial growth in households plus 26% and total viewers plus 20% versus the prior year. The show recently delivered its most watched week in show history, February 12th to 16th, averaging 708,000 viewers. So people love what he's doing over there. And like I said, I've never seen an episode of Karamo, shows that be syndicated. I don't get none of that. Like, I don't even watch Tamara. I can't see Tamara Hall show. I just be seeing the clips on YouTube. And I'm sure if I went on YouTube, I could probably see Karamo show there too. But it is what it is. But you know what? I'm glad he out here getting a check. I'm glad that he's doing what he need to be doing. And that's that. All right, so let's get to our final topic and talk about James Ross, aka Tyra Sanchez, aka King Tyra, who is trolling Shangela over the SA allegations. Now, y'all already know about the tea. If y'all don't, I'll remind y'all. Shangela, there was a story that came out that they had allegedly assaulted someone that worked at Drag Race and We're Here, Daniel McGarrigle. I have an interview with him sitting on my website, on my YouTube channel. I've linked it in many of my stories and stuff. If y'all get a chance, definitely look it up, check it out. I did a one-on-one interview with him where he told a detailed account into what had happened to him the night that the first season of We're Here wrapped. Cut to last month where they said that he had came to an agreement where Daniel had to basically, I don't know, there was some sort of agreement, I guess, that happened behind the scenes. They met up. And what had happened was Daniel went and the case was dismissed with prejudice, which means he can't bring it up anymore. So I'm believing that there was some sort of settlement taken. This is what a lot of people believe. I actually believe that myself. I've not spoken to Daniel. He's not speaking out about it. He probably can't speak out about it. Who knows? That's probably part of the deal. When he's ready to speak, and I'm sure that this thing is probably coming where he will get back to me and let me know. Other than that, I'm not going to pry. I'm not going to bother people. I don't go hunt. You want to give me a speak? You want to speak on it or whatever? Like, I'm not going to do that to people. I don't pry in that way. So there was that. Then there was a story that came on. We covered it on here as well. That 5 more people came out and said that they too were assaulted by Shangela. So cue to today when James Ross took to Twitter to speak out on some stuff as well and reposted the Rolling Stone article where it said 4 people allege that actor and drag star Shangela either SA'd them or attempted to have sex with them when they were too inebriated to consent. So I'm gonna pull up the tweets here. Give me a second, and I'll just probably scroll up as we talk about it. So he says, "Oh, y'all drag my name through the mud. Every blog, every news article, everybody got something to say when I do something, but y'all been hush hush about this." He also went and said, "You going to Diddy party or Shangela's?" I saw that and liked it, which was funny though. But it's like, yeah, what you doing? And then it said, "Logging off now. Y'all kill me with the Cowboy Carter leaks." Okay, that's something else. "Keep your head up and put your dick away." This is what he was saying also about Shangela. Another thing, let's scroll up and see if there was any more. Says, shit, I need to start my own podcast. My name is James. I don't play no games. My news is real. Well, then, sis, do that. And then I said, my name is James. I don't play no games. Yeah, same thing. Y'all mad at me because I shared the article. Say what you want about me. I own all the ish I've done. Natural badass. At least I ain't out here R-ing N-words. Yes, I was arrested. Guess what? I sued them. And guess what else? I got that police department shut down, defunded, no longer exists. Now, STFU, only the radio can play me. And then, oh yeah, he's showing his video with okay, so there's that. I don't think there's any more that has come out since then. I'll see. I'm gonna just refresh it real quick and see. Oh, Joseph Shepard, that's what he put. Oh, so oh yeah, so child, he's still going. Please hold. So he going after Eureka and Bob the drag queen. I'm glad I refreshed. Please hold. I love putting y'all on hold and shit like I'm the operator. So he said, at that one queen at Eureka O'Hara, the folks is asking, was Shangela the reason for we're here recasting? Did the R allegations cost you your job? They want to know, why haven't you spoke up about your castmate? They are asking for you to chime in and bring awareness to the victims. Where are you? That's what they're asking, Chad. And that's what inquiring minds want to know. Because look, I don't know if y'all saw, but Matt Cullen just did a shout out to him. I love his show, by the way, on YouTube. Y'all haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Matt Cullen recently just did a interview with one of the new castmates, Latrice Royale. And Latrice didn't really get into some things in regard to the show, but they didn't really say it, and I kind of wish they would have. But people was asking us like, do you think that the stuff regarding Shangela may have had something to do with people losing their jobs? And that is a good question. I feel like, why can't we ask about it? Look, Tyra gonna be out here trolling and doing whatever, but it's good. Like, it's like someone who is kind of on the outside. At least they get to have a say so and be like, you know what? Inquiring minds want to know. Have y'all been out here doing things or saying things, or were you privy to things that was going on at We're Here, or y'all doing like a lot of these other people do that are in the business and in the industry? Are y'all looking the other way? Were y'all aware of the things that Shangela was doing? And it was funny where King was like, I don't need to go out here and assault people to give me some ass. Like, they throwing it at me. Trolling aside, I do believe that this is a question that should be asked, and it's just not on Eureka and the rest of the cast that should be speaking out. Why haven't the entertainment gay blog spoken out? Now, when the four came forward and gave their tea and spilled their tea on some stuff, they couldn't ignore it. They had to cover the story because it made national news, and because Rolling Stone was talking about it, and all the other majors was talking about it. So now the gays want to jump on the bandwagon and talk about it. But I've been talking about it from the beginning. And like I said before, I'm not going to sit around waiting for 100 other people to say some shit for me to bring something to the forefront, because I don't think anybody's talking about this tea either. That's why I was like, as soon as I saw this, I need to bring it up. But this is a good question. It's like, inquiring minds want to know, why haven't y'all spoken up? Why haven't y'all put it out there and said certain things? And just because I'm asking the question, I don't feel like you need to discredit because of what they went through. They have to discredit the question that's being asked. Also, if I'm asking a question, that means that because everything else I've done is invalid. And you know what, Tyra? I just saw a post that you did. He shaded RuPaul, and wrote, "That's why I get my books from Audible." Now, I'm sure if y'all don't know what I'm talking about with that, he was referring to, the drama surrounding RuPaul and that book club or that book mobile that he got going around. That people are saying that um that book is the book thing is the company that he's behind with the book company. They're selling books for Hitler and a bunch of other bigots that are against the community. Quiet as it's kept, I use Audible too, but I haven't used Audible in a long time. If I want to read something, I just read it. He was like, what? I don't think that's him, because it said Adam Lambert followed me. I think that's not even a real account. Like, Adam Lambert followed me. What I do? But but yeah, so that's all Oh my God, I'm so glad I'm not mirroring the this thing because I just came across some pictures. I'm like, why am I seeing nudity? But anyway, let me go down in the comments real quick, which I'll have to say on any of these topics because at this point, shout out to you, James Ross. And you know what? I'm living for the shade and the instigation because it gives me some grist for my middle to talk about. But yeah, these are conversations that I feel like need to be had. And if y'all have something to say about these topics, let me know down below. Because other than that, I have to say we're pretty much wrapped up with the show. We're done. So thank you all who have been tuning in on social media. I say I got huge numbers right now of people that are watching the show. So thank you all of you that are sitting, and watching the show, and those of you that commented and stuff. I definitely appreciate y'all. Definitely hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the notification button if you can, if you haven't already, so that way when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Amwell Unfiltered. Thank you, Celebrity News and Gossip Universe, because y'all keep me busy with these damn topics. And this was a crazy show. So love you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. And thank you all who I said also was in the live, leaving comments and stuff and all that good stuff. So love you all for watching. And until next time, ciao, darlings.